Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is a story about what if Kid Naruto in Fairy Tale Harem. Before I start, please support for more amazing content, and do consider subscribing to my channel and share this video with your friends. This is written by Grimoire 113 and link in description and support writer. Let's start the video. Prologue. In a small village of about 8,000 people, a beautiful miracle was happening to two people. This two had waited 9 months to hold their first ever children. Who might this two be? Well, let's take a quick look, shall we? The first was a man about 22 years of age and was about 6 feet 2 inches with spiky blonde hair that was said to be as bright as the sun. He wore a coat with a flame design in the hem of it. He also wore a navy blue umbu-style pants and a long-sleeved navy blue muscle shirt with black sandals. This man's name was Minato Namikaze, and he was currently watching over a beautiful red-headed woman. This redhead was about 21 years of age and stood at about 5 feet 10 inches with her beautiful hair reaching her calves. She had a beautiful creamy skin tone with the most peculiar eye color. It was a light shade of purple. This woman's name was Kushina Namikaze, and she was currently laying on the floor with sweat running down her face. Come on Kushina, just hold on a little bit longer, we're almost there, Minato said while leaning on a tree and every now and then looking around. I can't, Minato, this two want out now, find a cave or something, but I won't be able to hold out much more, Kushina gasped out while clutching her large belly. New life was truly beautiful to experience indeed, but unfortunately they couldn't enjoy a simple life. It had all started about 1 week ago, when the small village of Konoha received news of an invasion by the king of Fiori himself. It helped that their village leader Hiruzen Sarutobi had become friends with the king of Fiori. They had then scrabbled their civilian military to check the invading force, only to receive news from the sole survivor that the invaders were mages. Minato, being one of the few mages in their village, chose to take a few of the other to do surveillance. That's when they saw that the invaders were Zerif worshippers, and they decided to spy on them to see what they were after. They overheard one drunken mage blurt out that there was a powerful magical signature coming from their village. Minato was wondering what that could mean, but was found out, and him along with his group of 10 made a break for it. 2 of his men stayed behind to distract the enemy to give them time to get away. Minato and his remaining 8 men made it to the village, and were able to inform Sarutobi in time for a slaughter. Why? Because the group Minato went to check out was nothing but a decoy, because while they were getting ready to fight that group, another came from behind and caught them off guard. Everything went downhill from there. Minato, only thinking of getting his wife of 2 years out, ran toward her location. That's when he found out their target was his unborn twins. He was able to kill 4 of the 6 that were there to take his wife. He then took his wife and made the hardest decision in his life. He abandoned his village in favor of his wife. That's how we find them right now, running from their burning village, not knowing if anyone else made it or not. All alone, tired, and with Kushina just having gone into labor. Well, thing just went from terrible to fucking hell. Kushina, please just a little more and we'll get to the shrine, so please just hold on, Minato said while putting her right arm on his shoulder. I'll try, Minato, Kushina grunted out. They traveled through the forest slowly for about another 10 minutes before they heard branches snapping behind them. Sir, I found her, they heard, and slowly turned around to see a man in black clothing yelling and pointing at them. Shit, Kushina, go run, get to the shrine and stay there. They don't know how to enter it, so you'll be safe, so wait, and I'll be there soon, okay? All he got was a fearful look from his wife. But she wasn't able to finish due to her contractions, so all she did was nod and left, wobbling a little while Minato stood in front of her and watched as she disappeared. He turned his full attention to the enemy and watched as at least 20 and more coming emerged from the forest and looked at him. Step aside or you'll die here, the apparent leader said while holding a staff in his left hand, while in his right a weird sickly purple magic circle appeared. If you want to get to her, you'll have to kill me, Minato stated with resolve. As you wish, was all the man said before firing out a green and purple beam at Minato. Kushina walked for another 5 minutes before standing in front of a giant dead end. She looked back where the smoke was rising and where she heard an explosion. With tears in her eyes, she turned around and placed her hand on the dead end, and a golden magic circle appeared and she vanished in a golden flash. Minato Namikaze, the future leader of his village, the husband to Kushina Namikaze, lay in his own pool of blood with a blank stare. So what should we do with his body? One of the cloaked figures asked. Leave him, he's not the reason we're here, for we came to lend a hand to Grimoire Heart to obtain more brats for his little project, and I can't sense the woman anymore, so let's go, we're done here, the man said while walking away. Yes, Lord Zero, the groups yelled out. Once they all left, Minato spit out a glob of blood and started to turn around onto his stomach. He then tried to crawl toward the direction of his wife. Minato was missing his right arm and part of his left leg. He didn't make it very far and instead just lay there. I'm sorry, Kushina, but I won't be able to be there for you and our children, so please stay safe, all of you, and remember that I love you. Those were his last thoughts before Minato died in the middle of the forest, left there to be nothing but another wild animal's food. Kushina found herself walking down a brightly lit hallway made of pure white marble floor and walls. As she continued to walk, she had to stop every few seconds due to her contractions. Come in, my child, so I may help you. A very soothing voice sounded out throughout the hallway, surprising her. Who's there? Kushina asked. Someone who can help. Now come closer and let me look at you. Kushina decided to trust the voice since it filled her with tranquility and made her feel happy. As she got closer, she felt the air around her become cool, not cold but more like a gentle refreshing breeze. When she got to the end she saw a huge white dragon laying on his front paws. The dragon looked like it was naked since she didn't see any scales on it, and strangely it looked female. "Ah, so you're the one I felt was able to enter my shrine." The dragon spoke with its eyes closed. "Why yes, and ma'am, I'm sorry if I'm intruding, but she wasn't able to finish. Yes, I know about your village, and what happened. No, I can't help since I'm not even alive anymore. I'm just a spirit that's stuck in the shrine until my life force runs out," the dragon responded. Before Kushina could say any more she fell to her knees and started to scream in pain. "Calm down and breath, child, I will do my best to help out. First lay on your back and remove your dress so you can use it as a blanket," the dragon calmly stated. Kushina did as told and took off her maternity dress and laid it on the floor while taking deep breaths. There and now what Kushina wanted to say her name, but she didn't even know it. "I've had many names in my life, but I've always liked the title Mother of Dragons, or you can just call me Lily now though. Relax and push at 3, okay?" Lily told her, getting a nod from Kushina. "Okay then, 1 2 3 push." With that Kushina began pushing and screaming. Things seemed to be going well for a while and Lily kept speaking to Kushina to try and help ease her pain. It wasn't until about 2.5 hours later that the problem started. "Miss Lily, why hasn't any of my children come out yet?" Kushina yelled through the pain. Lily didn't answer and simply looked between her legs to have a look, and what she saw worried her. "There's some bad news, my child." What news, Lily? Are my children alright?" Kushina worriedly blurted out. "It seems because of what happened tonight the children are somehow entangled in their own umbilical cords, and if we don't cut you open they will die since natural birth isn't an option anymore." Lily answered her with a somber tone. What are you saying?" Kushina asked with fear. "It means you won't live after giving birth because of the blood loss. I'll be able to keep you alive for only a few hours after, but since I don't have a body anymore I won't be able to heal you with my sky dragon healing arts," Lily sadly told her. "Will they be okay?" Kushina cried out at the thought of not being there for her children. "For a while, child, after that I will regretfully have them leave, since in about 5 to 8 years I'll fully disappear because I'm running on the last bit of life force I've got at the moment," Lily said. "Then I want you to take them to a friend of mine that lives in Fiori, please, or show them the way. She'll take care of them, I'm sure," Kushina said, remembering her old childhood friend. "I'll try, but I can't promise anything now. Are you ready?" When she finished she saw Kushina breathe deeply and nod at her with fire in her eyes. "Save my children, ma'am." When those words left her mouth Lily got close and whispered something Kushina couldn't hear and saw a tiny magic circle appear over Lily's right pointer figure and saw it turn from transparent to tangible. One moment Kushina was ready for anything and the next she was screaming her throat raw from the immense pain in her stomach from having it rip open and having Lily's claw dig into her to remove her children. The first one is a boy child. Kushina was barely able to look at her newborn son and just barely able to hear his little cry. "NNR Naruto H his N name Y will be Na Naruto." Kushina rasped out. "Just hang in there a little longer, just long enough to name your second child," Lily said while digging her claw once more into her, earning yet another ear-splitting scream of pain. The second proved a little harder and longer since it was nearly 10 minutes before she was able to extract her from Kushina. "Your second child is a girl," Lily informed her while looking at her for the child's name. Lucy HH her na name WW will be Lucy." Kushina gasped out before dying after naming her second child Lucy, who was busy crying her little heart out. "Lucy and Naruto, what beautiful names your mother chose for the two of you, but sadly I wasn't able to give her any more time with you. Her wounds were just fatal," Lily said while looking at the crying babies in her right clawed hands. Naruto was currently crying while reaching for Lily's face while his sister was crying as well but was somehow trying to reach for Kushina instead. "You Naruto have the most amazing magic reserve I've ever seen, my young ones, but your sister seems to have the most compressed magic power I've seen. You two will make fine mage. One day perhaps I will take one of you as my student," Lily said while looking at Naruto. "Lucy, I will take you to your mother's friend because you will need a mother more than your brother, and I promise you that in time you two will meet again," Lily promised while spreading her wings and sending a roar to the ceiling, destroying the roof on top. She grabbed Kushina's body and wrapped it in some clothes that she had lying around and placed her on her back. "Sai, I don't even know where your mother's friend is, but I guess I'll try to look for the one who has the tiniest trace of smell that matches your mother." With that she took flight and soared across the sky, passing over the now burned to the ground village of Konoha, and gave a small praying for those lost in the invasion. -3 days later. It had been 3 days since she had left the shrine and Lily had just noticed that her remaining life force had been cut in half. She now estimated that she had anywhere from 4 to 5 years left to live. She had kept both the child asleep with one of her magic abilities for most of the trip, only stopping to change them and feed them milk she was able to acquire from somewhere. Now though she was flying and was able to finally get a small trace on someone who smelled like Kushina, is only a tiny bit. She found a beautiful woman in what she thought to be her early 20s with long blonde hair done up in a high bun. She was currently wearing a business skirt and blouse and was walking down an empty road with a grocery bag in hand with a man with slicked back blonde hair. Lily, not wanting to have someone see them, used one of her mini wind spells and caught them both in an air bubble that also prevented their yells from being heard. Both people were scared out of their mind when they found themselves being lifted into the air, and then they were floating for a while until they landed in front of the one thing they never thought they'd see in their life. There in front of them was a huge white dragon looking down at them with what looked like amusement. "Calm down, humans, I only wished to talk with you too," Lily assured but saw the man get in front of the woman. What is it you wish to talk about? The man bravely stuttered out. I wish to ask the girl behind you if she knew a woman named Kushina once. The moment that name left her mouth, the girl stepped in front of the man and looked at her with a shocked face. Kushi, you know her? Where is she? Is she okay? Can you take me to her? The woman started to bombard her with questions. Lily got a sad expression when she saw the worry in this woman's eyes at hearing that she knew the red-headed mother. Yes, I did know her, but before you ask anything else I will tell you what happened to her first, okay? When she saw her nod, she began to explain the invasion to how Kushina entered her shrine all the way to the time she helped her deliver her children. That's why I'm here right now, to hand over one of her children to you so that you may raise her until the time when both brother and sister can once more reunite. I understand, but please allow me to take Kushi's body, please. I would like to bury her in our hometown. The woman cried out. Of course, but first I would like to know both your names so as to express my gratitude better. My name is Jude Heartfilia and this is my wife of over a year now, Layla Heartfilia. Jude answered while bowing a little to show the dragon respect. Well then, Jude and Layla Heartfilia, please take care of little Lucy as it was Kushina's final wish, and never let her forget that in time she will see her big brother. Lily told them, making them smile, while Lily laid Kushina's body in front of them, and next with her tail gently took Lucy and held her out to Layla to grab. Please look after him for both Lucy's and Kushina's sake, okay? Layla asked while hugging Lucy to her chest and smiling at her. Do not fret, my child, when I have a little less than a week to live I will bring him to you to raise, which should be in 4 to 5 years. Lily informed them, making them nod once more. Okay then, thank you again Miss Lily for doing this for her. She would be extremely happy to know that her children will be well looked after. Yes, I know. Well then I must be off, so farewell you two, and farewell to you as well, Lucy, for in time you will meet your brother again and be a true family. Lily then disappeared in a gust of wind caused by the flap of her wings. Layla and Jude watched as she left, and when she was out of sight Layla looked down at Lucy and saw a small bump in her tiny makeshift blanket made from what looked like a green dress. Layla inspected it and found a small precious jewel and nearly dropped Lucy because of it. Jude. Look. Layla frantically cried out, making him stare at her, and had his eyes close to popping out. Oh my God! With this we can finally become independent enough to start our own business. Jude said, I guess the dragon wanted to help us out after all, even if it was financially. Layla said while smiling at her husband, who smiled back. Both stood there smiling at the direction Lily left, and Layla held on to Lucy a little tighter. Lily then went straight for a remote region of Fiori and landed next to a big cave and entered it. I haven't been in this place for a long time now. How long has it been? 5,000, maybe 6,000 years since I've been here, Lily said while placing Naruto on a pile of leaves and watched as he slept. You are truly fascinating, Naruto, to be able to sleep through all that. Any other newborn would have been crying the whole time. Lily wondered while laying down next to him and yawning. I know you'll grow up to be a very powerful mages. After all, you'll be trained by me, Lily, the first scaleless dragon. She who birthed every single dragon, or as I'm called by all other dragons and humans, the mother of dragons. Lily said while yawning again and finally submitting to sleep. -4 years later. Time had really flown by for Lily as she watched the little 4-year-old Naruto run around the clearing chasing a butterfly. My, how much has he grown in this past 4 years is truly amazing indeed. Not only him, but his magic reserve is through the roof, but it seems like I only have a year left to live, so now will be the best time to start his training. Lily thought while watching him chase the butterfly around and finally succeeded in catching it, only to have it fly at his face, spooking him. Naruto, honey, come here please. Naruto stopped what he was doing to look at her when she called him and immediately ran to her. Yes, Mama. Lily, what is it? He asked, surprisingly young for a 4-year-old. But of course that's to be expected when his parental figure is a dragon who values knowledge over anything else. Lily had literally spent night and day teaching Naruto how to read and write like kids twice his age and trying to expand his intelligence. It worked like a charm since Naruto was surprisingly gifted with stuff like that. He learned to read at a level that would be difficult for even 8-year-olds, and his penmanship was at a 10-year-old level since his mother drilled it into him. She kept saying that neat writing was a sign of intelligence, and that she wanted him to be seen as an educated person and not a slob. That is why she also took the time to teach him simple academic stuff like math, writing, reading, and manners. Naruto hated math, but she told him he would need it when handling money, and she didn't want Naruto to be ripped off if she had any say in the matter. She also told him about his real mother, and what she looked like and acted, but sadly couldn't tell him anything more since she only had a brief encounter with her anyways. Naruto, though sad, was happy to know he also had a sister who, according to Lily, was a whole 10 minutes younger than him, which meant he had a responsibility to learn all he could so as to be a good role model to his little sister. Yes, I do, honey. You know how I told you that I would only be able to be with you for 4 or 5 years, right? When she received a hesitant nod, she continued. Well, it seems that I only have 1 more year left in me now. Don't start panicking, Naruto, because from this day forward I'm going to start teaching you how to utilize magic, so you can be ready for anything, okay? Lily quickly added in when she saw Naruto start to get tears in his eyes. Okay, but how, Mama? I can't learn everything in 1 year, can I? Asked Naruto. No, you can't. That's true, but that's also one of the reasons why I chose this place to be our home, dear. Huh? What do you mean, Mama? Naruto asked while titling his head to the left. I mean that in this cave I built a special place that I used rarely, but I will use it to teach you now this place at my time distortion room, which mean that this place will help us immensely. Lily informed him. So what does it do exactly, Mama? Naruto said, not getting any of what she said, making her sigh. Oh well, you see, a month out here is about 3 in the time distortion room, so where we only have 1 year left together out here and there we have about 3 years. Lily explained. Oh, now I see. Well, when do we start, Mama? Naruto said with a happy smile. Immediately, Naruto, because after we're done I'll be taking you to see your sister so you can grow up with her, and who knows, maybe you can teach her a few things about magic. No, Lily said, making Naruto smile brightly at hearing he will finally be able to meet his sister. Okay then, let's go. Naruto screamed while running towards a random direction. Naruto, the room is in the cave. Lily yelled out while sweat dropping at him. Impulsive action. Oh, alright, sorry. Naruto said, embarrassed with a little blush in his cheek. It's alright now, come on, we're burning daylight. The sooner we start training, the sooner we'll be able to make sure you're ready for anything, Lily said while walking towards the cave. With that, both entered their cave and went to the far end where a strange magic circle array was carved into the wall. Lily put her left claw on it, and the cave was bathed in white light. When it cleared, Naruto saw nothing but white everywhere. Well, Naruto, are you ready to train? When Naruto heard his surrogate mother's voice change, he turned around and saw that she had changed into a very beautiful young woman. Even though he was too young to be interested in girls, even he knew that his stepmom was beautiful right now. For standing in front of him was a woman who looked to be around 20 years old with white hair that reached her backside. She also had a white pale skin tone with a light blush here and there. She also had a pair of electric yellow eyes and a generous bust size. Her legs were long and slender while her waist was not too big yet not too small. All in all, his mother looked like a goddess, and also it didn't help that she was stark naked. Mama, is that you? Naruto questioned. Yes, honey, it's me. You see, I have a human form, but it's just that I didn't have the power to stay in that form back in the outside world, but in here I do, since I stored a little of my power in here should I ever need it, and a good thing too, huh? Lily said while a flash of light later she was clothed once again. She wore a simple black sports bra and black spandex short. Well, Naruto, are you ready to start training? Lily said while placing her right hand on her hip and looked at him with a devilish smirk. Naruto gulped, knowing the training would be difficult, but swallowed his fear and nervousness and looked at her. Why, yes, I'm already, Mom. Naruto said while looking at her for directions. Good, then first we start off with physical training, so drop and give me 100 push-ups, sit-up, jumping jacks, squats, and I want you to run 10 laps around this place, you hear me? Lily said, making Naruto pale but nod while dropping to the floor with a waterfall of tears falling down his eyes. Why me? Naruto thought while doing as his mother told him to. Minus 3 years later. Though 3 years had passed, Naruto only looked about a year older, and he had asked his mother about, and all she said was that his body grew according to the outside world's time, not this one's. Naruto had gone really far and Lily was really proud of him. He had learned her branch of Dragon Slayer magic, which was basically every elemental style a Dragon Slayer could learn. She had also shown him her vast library, which had taken her centuries to gather. Naruto had studied like crazy, learning Requip, Heavenly Body, and Maker magic. That's when she found out that Naruto had an affinity to the Slayer arts. He had surprised her in one of her spars with it. After all, she could still remember it like it was yesterday. Man, was she proud that day. Flashback, 1 year ago. Naruto and Lily were currently in the middle of a heated spar where Lily had allowed Naruto freedom to use any magic he wanted on her. Come on, Naruto, you can do better than that, I know it. Lily teased while stopping a roundhouse kick to her stomach since Naruto was still too small to reach her head. Naruto, though, didn't let it get to him, since the moment she caught his right foot he used it as balance to bring his other leg up. He tried to kick her under the chin, while using his hands like a second pair of feet. Lily merely tilted her head to the right, letting the foot fly by harmlessly. She then grabbed it as well and kicked him in the back, sending him tumbling on the floor. Naruto got up tenderly and looked at her and saw her grinning at him in amusement at his feeble attempts at hitting her. Naruto, not liking that look, rushed at her and swung his left arm at her exposed midsection, only to have Lily backhand him back to the floor with a red mark on his face where the hand made contact. Naruto, having had enough, sprung up and took a giant breath and let loose one of his magic spells. White Dragon Roar. As Naruto fired his fully powered roar at his mother, Lily reared back her fist, and without uttering a word her fist was covered in ice, and she slammed it into the floor, making a huge wall of ice spring forward and block Naruto's attack. Naruto was breathing heavily and tried to think of a way to get the upper hand in this spar. That's when he came up with a somewhat brilliant idea and smirked, thinking it would work. He put his idea into motion, and the instant his mother's ice wall came down he rushed forward and tried to take out her legs to bring her to the floor. His mom, though, jumped up like he was expecting her to do, and his then used his hands to flip over and aim straight at her before using his next attack. Ice God Bellow. That alone made his mom's eyes widen at hearing his attack, and because of that surprise she didn't have time to dodge. She got hit point blank by the pitch-black ice tornado and was sent flying into the air, where Naruto appeared behind her with both arms over his head and swung down before announcing his next move, Lighting God Hammer. Lily was then hit by what felt like a 1,000-volt current going through her body. She hit the floor pretty hard, and when she was able to look up she saw her son charging up what looked like a cannon made of lighting. You give up, Mom? Naruto asked while pointing his move at her. Lily smiled and nodded, getting a tired sigh from Naruto, as he dropped to floor in exhaustion. Man, I'm tired. Naruto complained while falling onto his back and trying to catch his breath. That was amazing, Naruto. When did you learn the God Slayer art? Lily asked after dusting herself off. I haven't finished learning them. Well, not all of them. I'm about 90% done. I think all I need is to learn White God Slayer arts, Shadow God Slayer arts, Water God Slayer arts, and the Wind God Slayer arts, Naruto said while counting them off in his fingers. Amazing. And do you know the other Slayer arts besides Dragon and God? Lily asked. A little, but every time I learn a new Devil Slayer arts I get a weird tattoo on my right and left arm. See? Naruto said while rolling up his sleeves and showing her 2 tattoos in his left and right arm that seemed to have about 10 smaller ones inside each of them. See, is that bad, Mom? Naruto questioned. No, it's not, son. It just shows that you have mastery over it, and when you have a son it will pass on to him without him having to study it like you are doing now, but it will be a problem for him since without the knowledge, if he's not careful, the marks will take over him, turning him into a demon, so make sure to teach him, okay? Lily informed him, making him nod. Okay, then come, let's go get some rest. Lily added while walking back to the house that seemed to have appeared from nowhere. Flashback and present. Now, though they stood outside of the room and back inside their cave home, though little changes in Naruto's 5-year-old appearance, his mental growth was that of a 7-year-old. Now, Naruto, I'm going to give you some money and take you to the town down below, and you'll buy enough food to last you a while, okay? Lily, still in her human form, said, though she did look really pale and weak and was sweating quite a bit. Okay, Mom, but please don't push yourself, okay? Naruto told her while taking the money and storing it in his requip space, which was quite large since he was able to fit his mother's library in it. Don't worry, honey, I still have a good 2 days left in the bucket, so go spend a day in the town. Get what you need for, I don't know, a week or 2, okay? I'll take you about a week's worth of travel and leave you there so you may enjoy the scenery and to also come up with a way to present yourself to your sister, okay? Lily said, making Naruto nod and start to head out the cave and down the mountain in which they lived. Naruto knew it would take about 2 hours to get there by walking, so he decided to avoid the whole walk and use his lighting magic to get there faster. So with that in mind, Naruto disappeared in a stream of yellow lighting. Rosemary Town. 1 minute later. Rosemary was a beautiful small town with no mages or guild in it, only farmers and families. The people were enjoying a beautiful sunny day where their children were running around and playing in the park. The old people had smiles on their faces, watching the future generation enjoy themselves. But no one was prepared for a stream of lighting coming down from the heaven and landing straight in the middle of the park, scaring the living daylight out of the kids. When the lighting disappeared, everyone saw a 5-year-old child scratching the back of his head sheepishly. Sorry everyone, I didn't mean to scare any of you, but this is my first time in this village, and well, I didn't know if this was a good place to land. Naruto laughed. It's alright, young mage, just refrain from doing it again. An elderly man said while waving it off like it was nothing. Naruto just nodded and ran towards where he could smell food, never noticing a little girl about his age looking at him with wide eyes filled with amazement. Naruto. As Naruto ran through the crowd, he saw all kinds of things he'd never seen, but kept his emotions in check, since right now getting what he needed was more important, since the sooner he finished the sooner he could leave with his mother to go where his sister was at. Naruto entered store after store, buying anything he'd need, from water, apples, already made sandwiches, milk, a few candy bars, orange juice, apple juice, oranges, mangoes, kiwis, ham, bread, cookies, chocolate muffins. Naruto was merely buying stuff he'd heard his mother say were delicious or sweet. When he finished, he was about to leave town via the same way he came when he bumped into someone. Oh. Hey, watch where you're going. A female voice yelled at him, making him look down at the angry redhead. Sorry about that, it's my fault, I wasn't looking where I was going, please forgive me, Naruto said while helping her up. The girl merely looked up at him and stopped before grabbing his hand and standing up while still looking at him. Hey, you're that kid that showed up in the playground in lighting, right? The girl asked, a little too excited. Why, yeah. All Naruto saw was the girl's face change to extreme happiness before going up to his face and grabbing his hands. Can you teach me how to use magic to please? I promise I'll be the best student ever, the girl asked. Naruto looked at her with wide eyes and stared at her while she gave him the puppy dog eyes. But what about your parents? Naruto asked, only to see her face grow sad with tears forming in the corners of her eyes. My mama and papa died in a fire when I was a baby. I've been living in the town's orphanage, but I want to leave and see the world, so please take me with you, the redhead pleaded. Sigh, okay, I'll do it, but first, what's your name? Mine's Naruto. He introduced himself. Erza's the name, so don't forget it, Erza said while puffing out her chest, trying to look though. So no last name? Naruto asked with a raised eyebrow. Not that he minded, since he also didn't have one, not because his mother forgot to tell him, but more on the lines that his biological mother never told his adoptive mother her last name. Well, no one was able to give it to me since my whole family died, so they never bothered to look for it, and you don't have one either, so why ask for mine? Erza accused back, trying to hide her sadness at not even having that to remember her parents. Well, how about you come up one for me and I come up one for you? Sound like a plan? Naruto asked, making Erza blush a little, since in her little mind Naruto was proposing, since she had seen it a lot of time happen. Or so she thought, since the only place she saw it happen was with teenage couple giving each other pet names, and she instantly thought they were marrying each other. Okay, so how are we gonna do this? Erza stuttered out while blushing cutely, and she started to play with the dirt, while keeping her eyes glued to the ground and playing with her pointer fingers. Well, let's look at each other, and see what is the first thing that pops into your head when we look at each other. Naruto said, making Erza look at him, and nod. For 10 minutes they looked at each other and looked up and down, while every now and then walking around each other. To the adult walking by they found it cute to see two 5-years checking each other out. I got it. Naruto said, breaking Erza out of her thought to look at him. Okay, what did you get? When I first saw you the first thing I noticed was your hair. Naruto said while grabbing a little and feeling it in between his fingers, making Erza blush at the closeness. Really, what about my hair? Erza asked while looking into his eyes. I was attracted to the color of your hair, Scarlet. Yeah, I like it, Erza. Scarlet. Erza, Scarlet. Yeah, doesn't that sound nice? Naruto questioned her. Erza on the other hand grabbed her hair and looked at it, and back at him before smiling and sporting a tiny blush. Scarlet, Erza, Scarlet, I like it. Erza said while smiling at him a watery smile. Naruto just smiled at her, happy to see her smile. Even though he had just met this girl, he felt compelled to make her smile, like if that would somehow help him. I think I also have one for you, Erza said while wiping her tears away. She was happy to finally have a last name to tell other, and for some reason this boy made her feel really happy and safe, like if she stayed with him nothing could hurt her. Really, what is it? Naruto, Haiwa, Erza said, making Naruto look at her. Haiwa? Naruto questioned. Yes, it means peace and harmony, and well, even though I just met you, just being around you brings me peace, so I thought it suited you. Erza explained. Haiwa, yeah, I like it. Okay, then from now on I'm Naruto Haiwa. Erza smiled even more brightly at that. Well, let's go celebrate our new name, shall we, Miss Scarlet? Naruto teased. Why, certainly, Mr. Haiwa. Erza teased back. Both laughed while walking towards a random restaurant to celebrate. They got to a simple shack that served barbecue, and they both enjoyed a nice lunch together. When they left they were both really full and they started to simply walk around and chat about anything. Naruto told her what he was going to teach her over their trip to meet his sister, which made Erza a little nervous at the possibility of meeting his family. Erza though just told him about the town, and what it was known for, which was their peaceful nature. Suddenly though an explosion happened near the center of the town, scaring Erza and making Naruto go into full mage mode. Naruto grabbed her hand and both started to run away, but soon found their way blocked by men in black cloak and weird staffs. Hey, we have 2OV, the man wasn't able to finish. Wind Dragon Roar. Naruto sent out a massive hurricane speed wind blast at the small group of 3, sending them flying back. Come on, Erza, we need to find a way out. This is no accident, this is an invasion. Naruto screamed over the sound of the screaming people. But why, what did we do to them? Erza asked while letting him pull her around. I don't know, but we have to Naruto didn't finish since he was surprised by a blast of a green plasma blast. Erza watched as he flew through the air. She was about to run toward him when he burst out of the rumble from the building he demolished, and stood in front of her. Erza, I need you to go take as many with you as you can, leave them to me. Naruto ordered her. But she started only to be silenced by his glare. This is no time to argue, so do as I say. Okay, now go save anyone you can and leave. I'll be right behind you, I promise. Naruto yelled out, making her flinch. Erza froze for another 10 seconds before nodding and running away, but not before screaming out. If you die here, I'll never forgive you, understood? Erza screamed out while running down an alley and disappearing. Are you kids done with your little soap opera? A man asked before he was silenced by Naruto's fist made of iron. His mother had taught him how to keep a level head in battles and how to keep his emotions in check as well. No matter how brave he looked outside, inside he was scared shitless, but he knew he had to be strong for Erza and everyone else in this town. Why, you little piece of shit, get him, he'll make a great sacrifice for Lord Zeref at the tower. All Naruto saw was about 10 to 15 blasts of plasmas coming straight for him, and then everything was a blur. Sometime later, everything hurt at the moment, his head, his arms and his legs, but he could have sworn someone was calling him a second ago. Ruto, there it was. Nato, who could it be? Nary, he knew it was familiar. Naruto. Then it came to him that voice belonged to Erza? Naruto said once his head was a little less blurry. Naruto. Thank God you're alright, I was worried for a second. What happened? Erza asked while giving him a hug. Ugh, I don't remember, but what I do is me punching one of them and them all of them firing their staffs at me and then nothing. Naruto said while massaging his templates. Where are we anyways, Erza? Naruto asked. On a boat owned by them. Erza responded, making Naruto look at her. And where are we headed for? The Tower of Heaven. A elderly man answered. He was sitting right next to him and smiling at him. Who are you? Naruto asked. Naruto, this is Rob, he helped me find you. Erza said. Oh well, thank you. Naruto said while he bowed his head a little in gratitude. No thanks are necessary, my child. Now then, come and sit down, nothing we can do now. Rob said while looking down at them sadly. What do you mean, if I use my magic I'd be able to bust us out? Naruto said. Not that easy, child, for those cuffs on your hands and legs prevent you from using magic at all, so please sit down, and let me tell you a story about the most amazing guild in all of Fiori. Naruto and Erza frowned but decided to listen since there was nothing else to do. What guild would that be, old man? Naruto asked him. Oh, this guild is known as Fairy Tail, and it's not just a guild, it's a family. Rob told them. Both Naruto and Erza both sat a little straighter at that, wanting to hear about the guild that was not just a place to find work but one big family. Now listen carefully, okay? It all started when our first master made us vermilion. All throughout the trip they listened to his tell of fairy tale, and wondered what it would be like to join. They had forgotten all about the tower for the moment, which is what the old man wanted. How will this change the story of Erza and everyone in fairy tale? Well, you'll have to wait till next time, my friends. Naruto Erza. Naruto and Erza were currently sitting in front of the old man who was telling them about fairy tale. Hey old man, where is this fairy tale located at? Naruto asked him while playing with his cuffs, trying to find a way to remove them. Magnolia Town at the far end of the city. Why? Rob asked. I'm thinking about joining if what you told us is real, old man. Naruto, call him Rob or even Grandpa Rob. Sheesh, I mean he did help us. Erza told him after smacking him upside the head. Rob just watched them and smiled at the scene before him, happy to see them smiling even in a place like this. How about this, child? When we finally get out of here I'll take you to fairy tale myself and talk to the master to let you join. Rob said while helping Naruto up. Really, you do that for us, Grandpa Rob? Erza asked with stars in her eyes. Really, so don't worry, okay? Erza smiled at him while Naruto rubbed his head and nodded at him. That's when they felt the boat stop and Naruto got in front of Erza while Erza grabbed onto him tightly. Not even a minute later a group of 5 of those mages came down and started to shove the prisoners out of the boat. When they tried to grab Erza by the hair, Naruto jumped up and roundhouse kicked him in the head, sending him flying and making him break through the boat. Everyone looked surprised at that, even Rob, and when the other mages saw this they actually got scared. Don't you dare touch her or I'll kill you with my bare hands, Naruto growled out. The other mages then used what looked like a floating ball to send a stream of lighting at him. That's when they all witnessed something that surprised them greatly. Naruto swallowed the lighting like it was nothing and unknowingly a strange tattoo appeared over his heart. Stay back, I may not be able to use magic, but I'm still a dragon slayer for a reason, Naruto said, getting in the stance his mother taught him. The mages simply stood back and Rob got in front of the two of them, and neither noticed a shot of plasma coming from behind them till it was too late. Ah! Naruto screamed, making them turn around. They saw Naruto get hit by over a dozen plasma beams, sending him crumbling to the ground. Naruto! Erza screamed, going to him and helping him up by putting him right arm over her shoulder. Feisty little brat, aren't you? A huge mage said while pointing his staff at them. Get moving before I decided to practice my aim on you 3. Another one said. Okay, we're moving, Rob said while grabbing Naruto and Erza and walking out. They were pushed down the ramp and up a hill to what looked like a construction site. Erza kept close to Rob and held on tight to his tattered pants while he carried Naruto in his arms. I'm scared, Erza whimpered out. Don't worry, Erza, as long as I'm here and no one will hurt you, Naruto grumbled out while grabbing her hand that rested on Rob's arm. Erza smiled at him and nodded, somehow relieved to know that she had Naruto with her. They noticed that they were led underground and saw dozens of cages with each one holding up to a dozen prisoners. Alright gents, this here is your new homo, and if you need to do your business the bucket is right there in the corner, ha ha ha. One of the mages laughed out after shoving them into a cage. Erza saw Rob lay Naruto down on the ground and ripped one of the only 2 blankets to use as makeshift bandages. Will he be alright, Gramps? Erza asked while looking at Naruto with worry in her eyes. Don't fret, my dear, he'll be fine. I've heard that this dragon slayers are really stubborn and tough, so I doubt something like this will keep him down for long. Erza smiled and sat on Naruto's right while grabbing his hand and smiling down on him. Naruto woke up a few minutes late and looked at her. I guess now's a bad time to mention that I have a mother on the outside waiting for me, huh? Naruto joked out. Yeah, but if you don't return, won't she come looking for you? Rob asked. No, my mother only has 2 days to live and she was gonna use the remaining one to take me to my sister. I see. Rob knew that Naruto's mother was off the list of possible rescuers. Rob then watched him go back to sleep with Erza laying down next to him, and snuggling up next to him, and falling asleep as well. Don't you two worry, I'll protect you two with my life and I promise you that you'll see fairy tale one day very soon. Those were Rob's thoughts as he went to sleep next to them so as to keep a watch over them. Lily's cave. Lily, the mother of all dragons, was worried sick. Why, you may ask? Well, her adopted son left to gather supplies nearly 12 hours ago. She had left and transformed into her dragon form and flew to the town only to find it burnt to the ground like his biological mother's home 5 years ago. Also, to add insult to injury, she found out that transforming into her dragon form cost her half of her remaining life force. Now here we find Lily, the first dragon, standing over the burning village, fading away into the wind. She knew she'd never see Naruto again and was truly sad that she wouldn't be able to reunite the brother and sister once more. Damn it, just damn it, I hope you're safe, Naruto honey, because I won't be able to save you this time. So please find a way to escape from this and find your sister. I know you'll be able to. After all, you're the true prince of the dragons. I love you, Naruto. Those were her last thoughts before she vanished completely into the wind, never to be seen again. She knew where her son had been taken to from the scent, but knew she'd never make it with her remaining life force. Naruto, 1 week later. It had been a tough week for Naruto since the guards always tried to harass Erza. Naruto of course always stepped in before that, but it always ended badly. Like how he had found 3 guards surrounding her once when they made him work in the morning and her in the afternoon. Flashback. 5 days ago, Naruto had been working since dawn without a break and was just getting back. He knew Rob worked the night shift with Erza, so he didn't expect someone back in the cage. Let go of me. Help! The scream got Naruto's full attention since it was Erza's scream. He immediately ran toward it, and found her being held down by 2 men while the third one appeared to start undressing. Relax girl, it'll be fun, ha ha ha. The one on top laughed out. Naruto saw the tears in Erza's eyes and saw her trying to fight back. He looked at his cuffs and glared at them since with them on he wouldn't be able to hurt them enough. But when Naruto heard the ripping of clothes he let go of everything and charged at full speed towards them. Oh! The mages turned to see who had yelled out only for the fat pig on top of Erza to go flying back. They turned, looked at the one responsible and found Naruto glaring at them with unrestrained anger. Why, you little brat? I'll show you to stay out of our business, the fat one said while getting up. Naruto didn't listen. He jumped toward the one holding Erza's legs and kicked him so hard the other 2 heard his neck snap. Wasting no time he threw an uppercut to the man holding her arms and saw him take a few teeth with him. The fat one reached for his staff only for Naruto to be on top of him in an instant and start to punch him mercilessly. Don't you dare ever touch her again, Naruto yelled while grabbing his left arm and snapping it like a twig. The man screamed and tried to scurry away, but Naruto wouldn't have any of that and leapt on his head, burying it in the ground. The last one was terrified because all he saw was a dragon roaring at them and was petrified in his place. When Naruto turned toward him he ran for it, not wanting to mess with the dragon. Naruto, seeing this, tried to go after him to kill him like he did to the other 2, but stopped when a pressure landed on his back. Stop Naruto, please, I am okay because of Waiyu, so please stop, you're scaring me. Erza sobbed out, making Naruto calm down immediately and turned to hug her toward his chest where she cried her eyes out. Naruto saw that her rag of a dress was torn to shreds, so he pulled away and took off his shirt and gave it to her and told her to put it on. He turned to give her privacy and waited for her to finish changing. All done. And Naruto, Erza, are you really okay? He asked. Erza nodded at him with the tiniest of smiles. Yes, thanks to you they didn't do anything but rip my clothes off, so thank you, Naruto. Naruto received another hug from her, and this time he hugged her back a little too hard. Go on, Erza, sleep, I'll look after you while you sleep. I won't let anyone come near you, so don't worry. Okay, I'll try, Erza told him while heading over to her rock of a pillow and laid down to rest. Naruto didn't move or sleep that night as he was watching the guards that passed by. When Rob came back he told him what happened since the dead guards were still there. Rob took this opportunity to take the guards' shirts to use as blankets and spare clothes for the kids. Naruto never left Erza's side from then on. If he left to work he took her with him even when the guards tried to force her to stay. But Naruto proved to be unbreakable since they had grabbed him the next day and dragged him to the center of the tower with everyone watching including Erza and Rob. Next day, still flashback. The next day when Erza awoke Naruto looked her over to make sure she was truly fine and Rob helped out too. I said I'm fine, Naruto, really? Erza complained for the 100th time. We know, dear, but we have to make sure, okay? Rob said while looking at her bruised wrists and ankles. Erza nodded, but then she grew pale, making Rob and Naruto turn to see what frightened her. They saw the head guard standing outside their cell with the surviving guard behind him sporting a black eye and a cloth in his mouth that looked bloody. Take him, was all the head guard said. Naruto got in front of Erza in case they were after her. They weren't, since they went straight for him and punched him in the stomach and grabbed him by the hair and proceeded to drag him out. Naruto! Both Erza and Rob screamed, following after them. They saw them drag him to the center of the tower where they saw every last slave there, wondering what happened. It has come to my attention that this boy has attacked and killed 2 of my men. Now I'm a good guy, aren't I? I mean, I gave you food and clothes when I could have easily made you starve and make you work naked, but I didn't, so why do you all insist on resisting me, eh? The head guard asked out loud to the crowd, who were afraid of what he was gonna do to a 5-year-old boy. But even I know that a punishment is due here, so I'm going to show you all just how much of a bad guy I can be if you all don't follow the rules. He screamed the last part. Do it! Everyone watched in horror as not 1, not 2, not even 3, but a total of 10 men took out their whips and started to hit Naruto with them. The bad part was that each whip had a total of 5 blades at their end, making it more painful on poor Naruto. Erza and Rob watched helplessly as the whips hit Naruto, each time tearing his flesh from his back. They saw that it was so painful that he couldn't even scream out in pain. They all watched for a total of 1 hour as the 10 men whipped his exposed back. They all watched his blood paint the ground red. They all watched his nails dig into the pole where they tied him up to. But what they all remember was his look. He didn't cry, he didn't beg for it to stop, no. He looked at the head guard with so much hate that even he flinched a little at the kid's will. When they finally stopped, the head guard untied him and was about to throw him off the stage when Naruto told him something that actually scared him. Torture me, beat me, hate me, do what you want to me, but you will never break me, and when the day comes when we gain our freedom again, I will personally show you what a real demon can do. With those words said, the head guard threw him off the stage and walked away quickly, not believing this kid could still say that after what he did to him. Rob and Erza ran towards him fast and looked him over before Rob carried him back to their cell. The guards didn't care so long as the slaves got the message, so they simply went back to what they were doing. Back in their cell, Rob ripped the last blanket and started to dip it in the bowl of water they got once every 2 days apparently. Rob then cleaned his awful wounds the best he could with Erza crying while hold his hands. Grandpa, is he going to be okay? Erza asked with tears streaming down her face. He'll be fine, I'm sure. Erza is a fighter after all, and he did promise you that he'd be there for you, so I'm sure he'd never break his promise to you, Rob said while placing the rag on his back before taking his own shirt and ripping it as well. He then tied it around Naruto's torso to hold the other rag and tied it around Naruto's front like a bandage. When it was over he placed him face down on the floor to keep his injury clean and let him sleep with Erza in his left side. Erza cried herself to sleep thinking it was her fault he was in this condition. Rob just watched them sleep and promised himself that he wouldn't let anything like this happen again. Flashback and Naruto. It had taken him 3 full days to recover, and when he did the guards gave him no time and sent him off to work again. But not before taking Erza with him, that is, and the guards were angry at that, thinking the kid learned his lesson. And Naruto, calm down or you can get hurt. The worried voice of Erza snapped him out of his thoughts. Don't worry Erza, I'm fine, see. Naruto demonstrated by taking her rock and carrying it along with his. Please Naruto, calm down for me? Erza told him while giving him the puppy dog eye technique. Naruto flinched when he saw it since Erza knew when she did that she had him under her complete control. Okay fine, I'll take it easy. Naruto surrendered, making Erza smile at him. Thank you, now come on, our shift is over and Grandpa Rob said he'd tell us more about Fairy Tail, she happily said while grabbing his right hand and running towards their living space. 3 years later. A lot has happened since they were brought here 3 years ago, but the bonds between Erza and him were still as strong as ever. Not only that, but they got new friends as well in the forms of a little girl about 4 years old named Miliana, a boy about 7 years old named Wally Buchanan, another boy about their same age named Simon, and a boy about 5 named Sho. Naruto became the big brother of the group of 4 since he taught Wally, Sho, and Miliana how to read, write, and how to do math. He found out that the tattoo over his heart was a magic storage rune, and that the more magic he saved the bigger the outcome would be. He had told them all, of course, and they only asked one question. How would that help them? Naruto then went on to tell them that if he saved enough magic, then when he was sure he had enough he'd be able to break his cuffs and have a surge of magic for a set amount of time. Everyone was surprised at that since they knew that when that happened he'd be able to help everyone be freed from this hell. Big brother, what are you gonna read tonight, Miliana asked. Naruto found out that since he was a dragon slayer the cuffs affected him only half as much as the others. So he was able to tap into his requip space but nothing else. Even so, that was more than enough for him since everything he needed was in there. He found that the food he bought in Rosemary was still there and still worked even after 3 years. So every now and then when the guards weren't looking he would give Sho, Miliana, Wally, Simon, and Erza a piece of the chocolate bars he had. He even gave them a little sip from his milk every morning along with a fruit every now and then. Rob knew that Naruto cared for the little ones a lot since he would defend them from the guards even to the extent of taking their punishment for them. This saddened them all a lot since he would never allow them to be touched if he could help it. Naruto had been whipped, been made to endure hunger for weeks, thrown in ice-cold water for hours, thrown in a dark room and made to stay there in his own filth for days. But he never once broke. Instead the guards saw he was inspiring the slaves with his will to never give up. How about the Little Red Riding Hood, Miliana? Naruto asked her, making her smile. Yay! And can we have more chocolate too, big brother? Miliana asked him. Only a little, okay, since I don't have a lot left. Naruto told her, making her nod and run off back to their cell since it was night time. When he got there he saw Sho, Miliana, and Wally hiding behind Simon with Erza looking confused until she saw him coming over. Naruto, come over, look. What is it, Erza? When he got to the entrance he saw a boy about 8 maybe 9 years old with dark blue hair and a weird tattoo over his right eye looking at them with curiosity. Hello there, my name is Jalal Fernandez, do you guys know where I am? The new kid asked. The kids all looked at Naruto since they knew he was the one in charge here, with Rob just sitting down in the corner and watching them with amusement. Naruto stepped forward and rubbed the back of his head before looking at him and sighing. Well, nice to meet you, Jalal. I'm Naruto Hiwa and this is Erza Scarlet, and well, I guess you can call us the big brother and sister of our little group, Naruto said while holding out his right hand. Yes, and this are Wally, Miliana, Sho, and Simon. Say hi, you guys. Erza told them. Hi/hello sup hey. The 4 said, making Jalal nod at their direction. Nice to meet you all, but again, can you guys tell where I am? Jalal responded by shaking Naruto's hand and looking at him in the eyes. Oh well, how do I say this? This place is called the Tower of Heaven, Naruto said while rubbing his neck. We're slaves to put short, Simon bluntly told him. What? Jalal yelled while his eyes widened like saucers. Yeah, we were all taken from our homes and brought here against our will, but we try to make the best of this anyways. Naruto laughed out. How can you say that so calmly? We're slaves here. You should be fighting to escape. Jalal screamed at Naruto, making Simon get in front of him. Simon had a rage-filled expression on his face, which was a weird sight to anyone since he was the most calm and reserved from the group. Only Erza and Rob knew why he was so angry. Naruto was like a brother to him since Naruto was teaching him how to understand magic and hopefully use it one day to find his little sister. You will not speak to Naruto like that, understood? Simon told him more than asked. Jalal just looked at him, wondering why he was so angry just because he raised his voice to the blonde. But you guys should be trying to leave this place, not want to stay here? Who says we aren't, Jalal? Naruto asked him after putting his arm on Simon's shoulder, who was a good head taller than him. Really? Well then, what is your master plan in getting us out? Jalal sarcastically asked. All the others were really starting to like Jalal less and less with how he was treating the one person who loved them and treated them like family. Apart from Rob and Erza, that is, since Erza was like a big sister or like a mother with the way she treated them and fussed over them. Rob was like a grandfather since he mostly just told stories and spoiled them with how he protected them from Erza's wrath at times. Naruto, on the other hand, was like a father with how he made sure they were safe and how he put his own life on the line for them when they got in trouble with the guards. Whenever he was caught by Erza giving them candy, she reprimanded him, saying how they should eat healthier instead and not just sweets. Well, Jalal, you see, I know how to use magic, but because of this cuffs I can't use it since it's blocking me from doing so. I've been saving magic for about a year and a half now, in a special rune I have on my body, and when the time comes I'll unleash that saved up magic, breaking my cuffs and allowing me full access to my magic, therefore allowing me to get us out. Naruto told him while Miliana nodded her head at him. Right, and you better be nice to Big Brother since he's the strongest one I know, and he can beat you up really super fast. Miliana childishly said, making Rob chuckle. Oh well, how long is that going to take? Jalal asked him. About another year, maybe a year and a half. Naruto told him. Well, enough of this, how about I read you all another story? Naruto announced while a book appeared in his hand. That's when Jalal saw that everyone in the cells around them instantly moved to be closer to theirs. Which one is it tonight, Naruto-sama? Another slave asked from a cell across from him. Please don't call me Sama, Naruto said. But anyways, this time it will be the Little Red Riding Hood, Naruto told them all, making a lot of the kids in other cells smile. Well, sit down and listen closely. Okay, there once was a little girl. Jalal saw how Miliana, Sho, and Wally sat in front of him and listened closely while Simon leaned on the wall but could be seen listening. But what caught his eyes was the redhead that he couldn't stop staring at, though he saw that she seemed a little too close to this Naruto. Jalal couldn't help but feel jealous at seeing Naruto and Erza so close even though he had just met them. Jalal decided to sit down in the back, listen to the story for now. 6 months later. Since Jalal had joined them, things had gone wrong a lot. First were the constant fights he had with Naruto over how to do any little thing. Erza and the others saw how Jalal tried to get the others to distrust Naruto. He always failed though, since the others were die-hard loyal to him because of everything he did for them. Naruto had even gotten more children into their little group. One was a boy with a snake who liked to be called Cobra, while his real name was Eric and he was about 5 years old, the same as Sho. Another was a weird boy obsessed with speed, and since he didn't want to tell them his name they just called him Racer, and he was also 5 years old. Then there was the girl who was 6 years old and stuck to Naruto like a crazy groupie. She liked to be called Angel by Naruto, and everyone else just went along with it. The last one was none other than Wally's older brother Richard, who was a whole 2 years older than Naruto and Erza. Wally hadn't stopped crying when he saw him, and now both were near inseparable from each other. Miliana and Angel fought a lot over who Naruto loved more, which was entertaining to watch at times. Sho and Cobra along with Racer became good friends since they all looked up to Naruto, because even though nearly all his power was locked away they could still feel his overflowing power. Jalal on the other hand became distant from them, and they always caught him making plan on how to escape from this place, which worried Rob and Naruto at time. Now though we find Naruto, Erza and Rob talking together with the kids playing with each other in their small cell. That is until they saw Jalal come running down the hall and opened the cell doors and entered in a hurry. Jalal, what's wrong? Rob asked him. I thought I had found a way to get out of here and I went to check it out before coming to tell you guys, but some guards found me out and chased me here. They didn't see me, but I think they're going to come and check it out anyways, Jalal said while his hands were on his knees trying to regain his breath. Erza and the others were shocked and angry that he would do something this stupid and put their family in danger. Before any one of them tried to scream at him, Naruto walked forward, stopping all arguments. Jalal, you're a really stupid kid, aren't you? Before he could answer, they all heard the gates slam open and looked at it. They found the head guard there smiling at them. Well, look what we have here, boys. I think we just found our culprits. That take the blue-haired one and the redhead, the man yelled out. Naruto, hearing this, moved to grab Erza and stop them from taking her, only to be slammed into the ground by no less than 10 men. Let me go, you bastards. I won't let any of you lay a finger on her, screamed Naruto, trying to break free with no luck. As he struggled, he saw them drag Erza away, and he also saw his friends in the corner with 4 guards with staffs pointed at them. Naruto! Erza screamed while trying to reach him with her right hand. Naruto tried to do the same with no luck. He saw them take her, and the last thing he saw was the head guard laugh and slam his boot on his face, knocking him out. Few hours later, Naruto awoke about 30 minutes later and instantly started banging at the cell bars while screaming his throat raw, trying to leave to find Erza. The children cried into Rob's pants, not believing what was going on, and all blamed Jalal since it was his fault this happened in the first place. After about 2 hours of yelling and banging his body against the bars, Naruto slid down the wall with tears falling down his face. He remained like that for about 3 hours until they heard the cell doors open. They all looked up only to see Erza be dropped inside before the guards started to walk away laughing at her pain. Erza! All 10 of them screamed before running towards her. Naruto got to her first and saw what he least wanted to see, which was Erza missing her right eye. Everyone started to cry more until they felt a heavy pressure on them and looked to see a frightening sight. Gold scales covered Naruto's face, arms, back, neck, and parts of his chest and sides. His hair seemed to glow in the little light they had down there. His nails grew to about 2, maybe 3 inches. His already sharp and prominent teeth became more noticeable. His eyes became icy blue with his pupils slit. What caught their attention though were the waves of magic power he was letting out along with the golden shroud around him. They saw how his cuffs shattered apart. And Naruto? Erza asked out after finally starting to regain conscious. Naruto looked down at her for a second, and what she said next made him angrier. And Naruto they're going to kill all of us. That was all she said while trying to stand up. Follow me closely, you guys, we're getting out of here today. With that, Naruto sent a blast of wind towards the cell door, blowing them away. Before they moved out, Naruto turned toward Erza, removed her eye patch, and ripped out his own right eye before putting it into her socket, and using his Sky Dragon Slayer magic. Big brother, why did you do that? Miliana asked him. If I can help you guys, I will do it. Losing one eye for me is nothing. Naruto them before going outside, followed by everyone. They ran towards the exit, and were able to make it to the outside where everyone looked at them. The head guard saw them and was about to taunt them until he saw Naruto and grew scared. Naruto stared at him for a good 5 minutes, and then all of a sudden everyone saw him take in a deep breath. Everyone plus the kids and Rob wondered what he was going to do. Their questions were answered when he opened his mouth once more. White Dragon Roar. Everyone was witness to the power of his attack when he unleashed it towards the tower. The head guard was left petrified since the attack missed him by no less than 1 feet. When he turned to look at the damage, he nearly pissed himself at the huge hole in the tower about 10 feet wide. Naruto didn't stop there. Oh no, he quickly turned toward the direction of where he knew the boat were and fired another attack. Ice Dragon Roar. All the slaves watched as the ice tornado crashed against the doors that kept them prisoners and watched with happiness at the whole door, wall and all were obliterated by the attack. All of you, it's time you regained your freedom, so go take it, it's yours once more. Naruto yelled out, getting a roar of thank yous and tears of happiness. The guard seemed to have finally snapped out of it, and started to attack the fleeing slaves. Naruto, seeing this, jumped into action. Erza, Rob, take everyone and go, I'll be right behind you. Not giving them time to answer, he ran towards the front of the attacks, and took the attack head on. Naruto! Erza and Rob screamed. From within the burning attack they heard munching and gulping, and all the guards stopped, and watched as their inferno was eaten by none other than the blonde-haired kid. Burp, man, that was good. I'd almost forgotten what it'd taste like, but now I'm all fire up. Erza and everyone else saw Naruto run towards the guards, and saw just why Dragon Slayers were so feared and amazing. Fire Dragon Wing Attack. Ice Dragon Frozen Claw. No matter what the guards tried, they couldn't hit him since he would always eat their attacks. Many of them were running away while they still could, while others were desperately trying to hit him, and keep him away from them. Shadow Dragon Roar. Holy Ray. Erza. Throughout all of this, Erza and the others were able to get to the boats, and start getting ready to leave. Erza, seeing this, thought that they should wait for Naruto, but remembered that what he looked like and had a new idea. Hey everyone, set sail as soon as you're finished, okay, don't look back or try to come back. She screamed from the edge of the boat. Right, was the general answer. Big sister, what are you thinking? Big brother is still there. Miliana asked her. Don't worry, Miliana, Naruto is a dragon slayer, and I know he'll come back, but right now he's buying us time to leave, so we'll do just that, and when he sees that we're far away from this place, he'll leave and join us. Erza told her. We're ready to leave, Erza. A random slave told her. Then set sail now. The man just ran off since he was a little scared of her right now because of her sudden mood swing. Soon the boat was moving and Erza turned and saw the Tower of Heaven growing smaller, and couldn't help but smile knowing the nightmare was over for now. Naruto was currently beating the life out of all the guards he could lay his hands on. He had already killed the head guard by firing off a point-blank fire dragon roar at him. Now he was stalling while he waited for the boats to get a little further away to ensure their safety. He was about to fail since he almost didn't catch the beam of magic being fired at their location. He was able to move fast, and was able to get in front of it, and eat it all. When he landed, he looked to see who it was and saw none other than Jelal. Jelal! What the hell are you doing? Naruto yelled at him. Jelal didn't respond with words. Instead he simply smiled a crazy smile, and raised his right hand, making a magic circle appear. His danger senses tingling, he did what his mother always told him to do in a situation like this. He trusted his gut, and jumped to the right, and just in time to, since he saw a pillar of darkness appear right where he stood not a second ago. He glared at Jelal, knowing it was him who just tried to kill him. Fine then, no words. With that, Naruto made his move. Iron Dragon Club. His attack missed by mere inches, and he saw Jelal do something strange. The next second Jelal was glowing yellow, and then he disappeared from view and appeared above him. Naruto let his pure instinct take over and was able to dodge in time, but not before grabbing Jelal's leg and using his elbow to deliver a powerful blow to his thigh. Jelal screamed in pain and grabbed onto his left thigh in pain. That was the only distraction Naruto needed to use his lightning speed to get in front of him and deliver the final blow. Earth Dragon Crumbling Fist. The attack met home in Jelal's stomach, taking his breath away and sending him flying towards one of the few standing walls around. The wall, though, came crashing down on top of Jelal. Naruto was about to run towards him and help him, but remembered that he was the reason Erza got hurt, and instead deactivated his dragon force. As he walked away, he didn't notice a small 8-year-old girl appear and smile in his direction, while covering her mouth with her sleeve and giggling. Naruto Hiwaha? You truly are an interesting one, my dear. How I wish I could be using you instead of this useless toy. the girl said while kicking Jalal in the face, which Jalal didn't even respond to. Maybe in the future I will be able to play with you, but for now I'll settle with the second rate. With that, 2 men appeared behind her and picked up Jalal. Ma'am, what shall we do now? The first one asked. Both were wearing masks with what looked like one eye in the center of it. Let's go back to HQ for now and report back to Master Hades of his little failed project, the girl said while walking away. Yes, Lady Altair. Both saluted and one slung Jalal over his shoulder and left the area. Erza kept her eye out on the ocean in the direction of the tower, hoping to get a glimpse of Naruto's return. Then out of nowhere she saw him riding a wave like it was nothing heading toward them. Naruto! Erza happily screamed and threw herself onto him the moment he landed on the boat. Erza! Are you alright? Naruto worriedly asked her while looking at her closed eye. Why yeah, I'm fine now, thanks to you for giving me your eye, but you didn't have to do it, you know. Her only answer was him hugging her close. Stupid, of course, if did I care about you too much as to let you go on living with only one eye, you need it more than me. Naruto whispered into her ear, making her blush. She then proceeded to hug him back and cry into his shirtless chest while mumbling thank you over and over again. So we're finally free, huh? Cobra asked him with his snake coiled around his neck. Yes, was all he said. The next minutes was nothing but silence until he looked around and saw every last one of the freed slaves crying and hugging each other at finally being freed. Hooray! One yelled out, followed soon by everyone. Naruto just smiled as he saw one of them start to dance, laugh, cry, and cheer at finally being free. What now, Naruto-sama? One slave asked. Stop calling me Sama. Naruto's head became unrealistically huge with a vein popping out on the right of his forehead. After calming down, he took a few more deep breaths before looking at the 3 boats that were waiting for his next order. We set sail for Fairy Tail. Naruto screamed. Everyone yelled out in happiness while in the back of the boat Rob just smiled at him and laughed a little. You've really grown nicely, and Naruto. Nighttime. Naruto stayed awake far later than everyone else while looking at the stars, and also since he was the one behind the wheel. As he watched everyone sleep, he couldn't help but smile knowing that everyone he cared for was free once more. Beautiful night, isn't it, and Naruto? Rob's voice rang out through the night sky. Yeah, it is. It's even more beautiful since now we know we're all free, Naruto said while giving Rob a quick smile. So Fairy Tail, huh? Rob asked while leaning on the railing. Yeah, I did promise I'd join your old guild, didn't I? Yes, but what will you do about everyone else? Well, by the time we hit land I should have access to my full magic power, and since I was never gonna go back to my mother, she gave me all her precious gems and jewels, so I guess I can give some to them and let them start over again wherever they want. Rob just stared at him in surprise and then sighed out before giving him a smile. You really are one of a kind, aren't you, Naruto? Both stayed silent for a while, just enjoying the first night of freedom they've had in a long time. Naruto, the meek voice of Erza broke them out of their peaceful silence. I'll leave you two alone for now, Rob told them while heading down below to check on the little ones. Yo Erza, how you feeling? Naruto asked her when he saw her stand right next to him. Better now that I know that I'm free. Look, Naruto, I am sorry you had to give me your eye. Before she could continue, she felt a light poke on her forehead. Stupid Erza, you have nothing to be sorry about. It's like I told you I would do it all again if it meant saving you or anyone I care about, Naruto told her with a smile on his face. So don't hide it, let everyone see that new eye of yours and let them know what I do for a friend of mine. Erza just touched her closed right eye before looking at him and looking at his closed right eye. It took a while, but she smiled at him and slowly opened her right eye, letting him see her now sky blue right eye that seemed so out of place next to her brown left eye. See, now you look even more beautiful. Naruto laughed out before he saw Erza hug him and cry into his chest. Thank you for being my friend, Naruto. Erza cried out into his chest. Naruto didn't say anything but let her cry her eyes out before he saw her starting to fall asleep. He saw another guy walking up to him, and he told him to take over while he went to put Erza to sleep. As he walked to the little hammock he had down below, he couldn't stop and just stare at Erza. She looked so cute sleeping in his arms, and he couldn't help but smile. Don't worry, Erza, no one will ever hurt you again while I'm around. I of course will help with that. Rob's voice nearly gave him a heart attack and nearly made him drop Erza. Don't sneak up on people, old man. Naruto all but screamed at him. Sorry, it's just that I didn't want to ruin your little moment. Also, the lookouts say they see land already about maybe 10 to 20 minutes away. Already, but we've only been at sea for about 4 hours. Don't tell me we were this close to land and no one ever bothered to look for us. Naruto growled out. Relax, kid, what's done is done for now. How about you put Erza to sleep and come and wake her when we all reach land, eh? Naruto nodded and went to their little storage room, which he remade into a room for them and others. Naruto then left and head straight for the top. Once up there he saw that indeed there in the horizon was land with what looked like lots of bright lights everywhere. After nearly an agonizing 30 minutes the ships hit the sand and nearly everyone jumped out of the boats and into the sand. The little kids started to play with it, as well as the majority of them jumping into the sea and enjoying the cold water washing away all the dirt off them. Naruto left, and then came back with Erza and the kids, who all had wide eyes at seeing all the bright lights and the sand and sea. Erza tried to stop both Miliana and Angel from jumping into the water with no luck. She even tried to stop Cobra, his snake, and Sho from throwing sand at each other. Naruto just laughed and watched Richard and Wally walk around and saw them pick up seashells now and then. Racer and Simon stuck by his side like if they were his shadow. You guys know you can go and enjoy yourself, right? Naruto told them. But what if someone tries anything on you, Naruto? We can't let that happen on our watch. Simon said, making Naruto sigh, knowing they weren't going anywhere anytime soon. Fine. Naruto sighed out. Rob watched along with Naruto as the kids played and the older men and women splashed water at each other in happiness. 1 hour later. After everyone got that out of their system, Naruto rounded them up and waited till all were calm enough to listen. Okay, listen up everyone, I know you are all enjoying your freedom, but now we need a plan of action on where to go next, so if you all have a place to go back to, say now, and we will give you enough money to get there. Rob said out loud. After about 10 minutes of murmurs, whispers, and people getting in groups and talking about it, they all looked at Rob and Naruto. We decided to go with you, Naruto-sama. The people said while smiling at him. Naruto just smiled and nodded his head while they saw him put his hands out, and a second later a bag appeared from thin air. Alright everyone, form a line and I will give you all enough jewels to go and buy clothes and food for the trip to Magnolia Town. Soon everyone was in a line and Naruto was giving them all enough to buy clothes and food. When they all had their share of money, Naruto told them to meet up at the north exit of the town. When they all left, Naruto grabbed Erza's hand and took her along with Miliana, Sho, Simon, Racer, Wally, Richard, Angel, Cobra and his snake to look around. As they looked around, he bought Miliana a stuffed kitten plushie with a hat that had cat ears. She also had a yellow shirt with a cat paw print on it. She also got herself a pair of dark green shorts. Angel got herself a white and blue dress with angel-like wings on her shoulders, wrist and around her new shoes, with a headpiece that had a white flower on it. Racer got himself a white t-shirt with black slacks and black boots. Cobra got a white t-shirt and light gray pants with a pair of gray boots and a white coat with brown fur. Wally and Richard both got casual clothes, while Simon just got white slacks with a black belt and a turban and a mask over his mouth. Sho got a busboy suit, saying it looked cool. Erza got a white long-sleeve blouse and a navy blue knee-length skirt. She wore black slacks underneath with brown boots and armor that made Naruto raise an eyebrow but nothing else. Naruto also bought her a sword, saying he would teach her how to wield it at a later time. Naruto himself got black slacks and decided to go shirtless while wearing a pair of sandals. Rob himself just went like he always did, not wanting anything new, which made them wonder why. Naruto and the others walked for another hour buying food, which Angel and Miliana only wanted chocolate and candy now that they were out. After getting everything they needed, they started to head to the meeting spot and waited for another 10 minutes. Once they saw the people start to come, Naruto got up and smiled at them all before starting to speak. Well then, off we go to Magnolia Town and to our future, to Fairy Tale. With that said, they all started to walk toward the direction of Magnolia, with Rob in the front since he knew its location and also since he got a map. This was the start of their life with freedom, and what awaited them was the greatest adventure. On the road, Naruto and the rest of the freed slaves were walking down the road that would lead them to Hargenport, according to Rob. Hey Gramps, why are we heading to this Hargenport and not Magnolia? Cobra asked. Well, because Magnolia is too far away to reach on foot, so we will take a train in Hargen to take us to Magnolia. Rob told him while still looking at the map. Yeah, I get that, but why don't we just take the long way to Magnolia? I for one don't have any rush to get there, so let's take our time. We'll get there eventually. Naruto told him with a smile, making a lot of the people smile around him. Rob, seeing the sense in his voice, sighed and looked down at him with a grandfatherly smile. Very well, Naruto, what do you have in mind? Rob asked while putting the map away for later. Well, how about we travel and see what mischief we can get ourselves into? Wait, my mother's cave was around a place called Mountain Village, so let's go there and see if I can't get anything she might have left behind for me. Naruto said, making everyone nod. Okay, then it's settled, we'll head for this mountain village. Rob said while unfolding his map once more. 2 months later. Things got a lot more interesting as they got closer to Naruto's old home. Of course, they stopped in every town they saw and explored it first. They had also lost many friends since most had fallen in love with different town and decided to make their lives there. Naruto was happy that everyone was following their hearts, and not just following him. He of course promised them that if they needed anything to come find him in Fairy Tale whenever they needed him. Begin playing Fairy's Glitter. Naruto and the others had felt a very emotional blow when Angel, or as she had revealed what her true name was, Sorano, had said that she would be traveling alone in search of her little sister who she had been separated when she was first taken to the Tower of Heaven. Flashback 1 month earlier. Naruto and what remained of his group were traveling a long dirt road, not talking, seeing as it was a very beautiful day. Everyone was looking around at the trees, the animals running by, the sound of the wind in their hair, and they loved everything about it. That is until they heard someone stop them that everyone turned to see who it was. Big brother Naruto. Sorano began getting Naruto attention. Yeah, what is it, kid? Naruto asked while looking at her. I think I would love to leave the group. Sorano told them all, shocking them. Why Sorano? Cobra asked, the most shocked, seeing as he had developed a small crush on the girl. I have a sister out there somewhere. I was able to hide her when those evil men came for us, so I know she's safe somewhere. But I want to find her and I want to be there for her, but I need to start looking for her first. Sorano told them while looking away. It's fine, Sorano, but just remember that we are here for you, so you don't have to go it alone. Naruto told her while smiling at her. Well, if you're leaving then you can count me in. Cobra surprisingly said. I don't wish to leave you unprotected, big bro, but she needs me now more than you, Racer said while walking towards her with Cobra. I wish to see her nightmare end and see her dream begin when she find her little sister, so I will join them and learn how to end this never-ending nightmare, Macbeth said, surprising everyone since the kid never talked to anyone except Naruto and Erza. I owe Cobra a favor, so I will to help you to reunite with your sister like I have reunited with my brother, Richard said. If my bro is going, then so will I. This should be a dandy ride, Wally said while walking towards them. Everyone just watched all six gather together and smile at each other, making Serrano cry at seeing them want to help her find her little sister. Naruto said nothing. All he did was smile and walk toward them before taking out a bag and tossing it to Cobra, hitting square in the head. Buy yourselves warmer clothes when you get to a town, okay? It's starting to become cold. Everyone just watch this. Why you're letting us go for reals? Cobra questioned, completely forgetting getting smacked square in the head only seconds ago. You six have made up your mind, and therefore I will not stop you from living your life, so go on and show them what you six can do with your prayers, Naruto told them before ruffling Serrano's hair. Just know that I will always be looking after you six, whether it be from fairy tale or from my grave. The six kids just nodded with tearful eyes at seeing their big brother caring for them so much. Flashback end. After parting with them and Erza giving them each a bone-crushing hug and many be careful from all the adults, and most importantly kisses from all their older sisters, the six parted ways with them. Naruto had also given them each a book on how to use magic in case they wished to learn. Of course, no one knew that Naruto had secretly implanted a dragon lacrima into young Cobra at the kids' constant whining and pleadings. Naruto had been scared that he might mess something up and have Erza's rage-filled justice rain down on top of him. Therefore, he was extremely relieved when everything went fine, but told him to keep it secret for the time being. Of course, when he left, Naruto handed him everything he knew about that particular dragon's slayer element. He had also bestowed different magic types upon them. Serrano he gifted her 2 celestial keys he was able to buy in a mage store he found in the last town. Racer he gave him 2 books, one about speed magic and the other on illusion magic. Richard with earth magic and unknowingly an eye magic type, his little brother, he gave him a book on block magic, which made him too happy for some reason. Midnight, well, he gave him illusion magic and 2 others to help him with his little nightmare complexion. They each thanked him and promised to one day if possible join up with Fairy Tail to repay him everything he's done for them. Naruto, after leaving them, took up training once more and even started training Erza in the ways of the sword, as well as unlocking her magic along with Simon, Miliana, and Sho. He found out that Simon could use both darkness magic and illusion magic, making Naruto groan at how many people he had to teach illusion magic. Miliana he had to find something to do with cats since she refused to learn anything else if it had no cats. Therefore, Naruto was forced to look through his magic library he had in his requip space. Luckily, he found one, which was nothing but restraint magic that the user could bend to look like anything. However, he also told her he would be teaching her earth and crystal make magic. When asked why, he responded with saying that restraint magic wasn't exactly good for either offensive or defensive attacks. In addition, he bribed her with saying that with maker magic she could make either earth cats or crystal cats. When asked how, he responded with saying that if she could image the cat, then she could make them out of both earth and crystal make magic. This got her interested in learning it very quickly. Erza he found out could also use requip magic, which made her happy while thinking that this would give her some one-on-one alone time with Naruto as they trained. Naruto also found out that she could go beyond the normal requip magic and use it to not only requip weapons but clothes as well, something he himself was still having trouble with since he thought it would be a lot faster to use requip to change clothes. Sho on the other hand could use a bastardized version of both requip magic and card magic. This was essentially a way to store things in cards instead of a portal dimension as he could. Naruto also took the time to teach him one of his many slayer arts. He taught the boy his infamous lighting devil's slayer arts. Sho had been elated to learn a magic like his big brother, and knew that if he listened and worked hard he would hopefully one day become a fraction as powerful as his big brother was. Because Simon, Miliana, and Sho knew there was no one stronger than their big brother, which made Rob happy. Hell, Naruto had even gotten Rob to learn a new magic, which turned out to be both fire magic and wind magic. Rob had said that these 2 elements went together great, just like Erza and Naruto did. This of course made both 8-year-olds blush scarlet red and start stuttering out denials. Naruto, after Rob's little teasing, noticed that the only ones still with him were only Simon, Sho, Miliana, Erza, and Rob. Out of all the freed slaves, only 5 stayed with him. Of course he wasn't sad or anything since he knew they were all out making new lives for themselves, which made him happy. So as they continued their journey to Naruto's old home, they started to hear rumors that a dark guild was attacking travelers for no reason. This news scared both Miliana and Simon but made both Erza and Simon tense and fear they might run into them. Rob and Naruto were the only ones who remained calm, not really fearing a dark mage given their newfound level of power. They found the Dark Guild all right, a weird guild that was for sure since they called themselves Dark Unicorn. Naruto at first laughed at their appearance and at their guild name. The Dark Guild, not liking being laughed at, charged at them, and boy was that a disappointing fight for Naruto. Flashback 2 weeks earlier, Naruto and his group were traveling up the mountain in which Naruto's old home lay. Naruto told them that it would only be about a day or half a day left of travel considering their pace, that is. Well boys, look what the cat dragged in, a gruff-sounding voice said. Cat where? Of course, Miliana instantly became excited when she heard the word cat. The men just looked at her strangely and were about to continue their teasing but stopped when Naruto moved in front of her. May I ask what brings you men here? Naruto asked. No, you may not, brat, not. Shut up and move aside. I wish to speak with that little redhead. The man said, but all he got was Naruto's glare. I'm afraid I can't do that, so if you would kindly move aside, we would like to be on our way once more. Naruto expertly made out without letting any emotion enter his voice. Kid, you don't know who you're messing with, do you? We're mages from the Dark Guild, Dark Unicorn, so I would be showing a little more respect if I were you, a female said, thinking she scared him a little. However, she was severely disappointed when instead of fear she saw Naruto start to laugh for no reason. Hey, what the hell are you laughing at, kid? The man asked. Sorry, it's just that is the most retarded name I have ever heard for a guild. Naruto continued to laugh, making Rob pull the kids back. Of course, Sho and Miliana wanted to watch their big brother kick some ass, so they poked their heads out from under his arms to look. The dark mages, having had enough of him laughing at them, lunged at him, while he was still laughing. 3 sent out fireballs while the other 2 added in wind, making the fire burn hotter. When they saw it strike home, they started laughing themselves, thinking they showed him. That'll teach kids like you to mess with Dark Unicorn. The female laughed out before stopping when they heard a voice. Man, that was the worst flames I've ever had. All the dark mages were looking at him with their jaws on the floor, seeing him eat the last of the flames. What the fuck are you, K? The man never finished. They all witnessed Naruto move at incredible speeds, having crossed the distance between them in less than a second. No cussing when there's kids around, you idiot, Naruto said with his fist in his stomach. The other mages snapped out of their surprise and attacked him with all they had. Naruto, having had enough, jumped back and got into a crouching stance with his arms in the middle hanging limply in front of himself. The radiance of a white dragon purifies all. Holy ray! Naruto screamed, sending out dozens of white rays of light at the dark mages, hitting them all over 5 times, knocking them all out instantly. After he finished, he looked back at everyone and smiled at them. Well, come on, we're almost to the summit of his mountain and to my old home. With that, they all started to head up to the peak of the mountain. Flashback end. Now Naruto's old home. Naruto and the other made it to his home, and were amazed at the sheer size of it, and the elegance of it. Sho and Miliana instantly started to run around trying to see everything. Simon and Rob walked calmly but still looked around as well. Erza stuck to Naruto real close and neither seemed to mind the closeness. Wow, is this where you really lived, big bro? Miliana asked. Yes, I spent 5 years of my life here learning and living with my mother, but it seems like she died the day I was taken from her, Naruto told them while looking at the giant nest where he remembered snuggling up to his mother's giant belly for warmth. I'm sure she did what she could given her limited time left. Rob tried to soothe him. Naruto smiled and continued on with his searching. Everyone wondered what he was looking for. It became obvious when he led them to a wall at the end of the cave, and they saw a giant magic seal on it. Naruto, what is this? Rob asked, amazed at the sight of it. This, Gramps, is the time distortion room, Naruto told them while using his pointer and middle finger to draw something in thin air. They all saw him draw a pentagram in the air, which soon glowed yellow, and then to their very eyes the giant seal also glowed yellow as if in response to what Naruto drew. Naruto, what is this time distortion room about exactly? Rob asked once more. Well, as my mother explained to me, in this room 1 month equals 3 in there, so I was planning on using it to train and get back in shape, and then head out toward Fairy Tail. What do you guys think? Everyone looked at him. How long do you want to stay in there, Naruto? Erza asked him. 2 years, so in there it would be 6 years, but don't worry, we will only age 2 years exactly, Naruto told them, while the seal opened up to reveal an endless void of nothing but pure whiteness. As Naruto began to walk in, all the others just watched him until he stopped and looked at them. Well, are you guys coming or what? They didn't need to be told twice. 2 years would be all they would need to become powerhouses for all to fear, but some would still lack power. 2 years later. It had been a long time since they had seen the outside world, and now, after 2 grueling years of training, they were finally ready to re-enter it. The seal shined brightly before it started to open up, where 6 figures could be seen standing waiting for the gate to open fully. The first to step outside was none other than a 6-year-old Miliana, wearing brown cargo shorts and a little pink shirt with a paw print on it. She also had a little white jacket on with a rusty pink hat with again a paw print in the front. The second was a 7-year-old Sho, who still wore his bust boy suit, only now without the vest, and his shirt was now untucked and the first 3 buttons undone. Next was a 10-year-old Simon, who was now taller, almost 5 feet 6 inches tall, with an amazing body. He now only wore his white pants and a sash going from his right shoulder to his left hip. He lost his mask, saying how he had outgrown it. After him was then Erza Scarlet, sporting her armor-covered torso. She also wore a navy blue skirt that reached just above her knees. She also wore brown boots and black spandex pants underneath her skirt. She also had a sword on her left hip that looked to be around 5 feet long. She was also 5 feet 2 inches, a little on the short side, but that was to be expected from a 10-year-old girl. Rob came out next, and man, had he changed in those 2 years. He seemed to have once more worked his body up to be able to use his magic effectively once more. He no longer seemed underfed or sick. He now had a swimmer's build, and looked to be able to fight even in his senior age. The last to exit was none other than Naruto Haiwa, and he hadn't really changed all except for his appearance, that is. He still had that untamable blonde hair and ocean blue eyes. His body was that of athletics, slim and flexible to the point where he could bend and move his body at angles that might hurt any other person. His power had once more grown and was now incredible high, and dense. He had to seal away nearly 3/4 of his power if he wanted to remain in control. However, the other thing was that Naruto had found another dragon lacrima, and had implanted it into himself with the help of Erza and Rob. Erza nearly killed him when he told them, but calmed down when he said that a dragon lacrima can't hurt Dragon Slayer since they already had dragon attribute inside them. He also told them that this would allow him to enter the dragon force that will making him a third-generation dragon slayer. Once they finished, they noticed how Naruto's power had once more rose, and this left them all shocked at the feeling of Naruto once more gaining more power. Naruto had also grown well, surprising everyone by matching Simon for height at 5 feet 6 inches, and of course, his choice of clothing once more changed. All Naruto had on now was a pair of black slacks with white bandages around his ankles and a white sash around his waist with a part of it hanging loosely at his right side. He had foregone both shoes and shirts in favor of going barefoot and shirtless, saying how he loved the feel of the wind on his chest and the feel of the earth in his toes. After Naruto exited the TDR, all 5 looked at him and saw him seal the room while also doing something. "Naruto, what are you doing now?" Erza asked with her right hand on her waist. "Well, while we were training I found out that I can move the room to wherever I wish by simply redoing the magic circle in the location of my choosing," Naruto told them before they saw the seal disappear from the wall and appear on a wooden plank on his hands. Naruto, why did you put it on a wooden plank?" Simon asked. "It was the only thing close by me. Now come on, the sooner we get to Fairy Tail the sooner we can show the world what we can do." Naruto smiled, making Erza and Simon grin. Rob, Sho, and Miliana just smiled, and both the little ones ran outside ahead of them with Erza and Naruto running after them to make sure nothing bad happened to them. Simon and Rob walked at a steady pace after them, not seeing the rush to catch up to them. It would be some time before they made it to Fairy Tail, and in that time, they would meet a very interesting person to add to their group. 1 week later. It had been a week since they emerged from the TDR, and they were now passing through a town that seemed to be in eternal rain. "Man, why is it raining so much here?" Simon asked no one in particular. "I kind of like this weather," Naruto told them unknowingly, making a little girl hiding behind a tree stop crying and look from behind the tree to see who said that. "How can you like this weather, Naruto? You can catch a very nasty cold cause of this awful, gloomy weather," Erza said, making the girl once more start to cry. "Hey, now don't be so mean, Erza. I mean, rain is meant to purify the land and bring about a fresh new beginning for the world. So it's not gloomy or awful, just you wait, Erza, and you'll see that the moment this rain stops you see the most beautiful sight in your life," Naruto said with such passion that it made both Erza and the mystery girl blush bright red. The mystery girl turned back around and slid down the tree with a big blush on her face. "He like my rain, why is my heart beating so fast? Sniff, no one has ever said that about my rain." The little girl cried out in happiness at finally finding someone who loved her for whom she was and didn't worry about the gloomy weather she unintentionally caused. However, as if answering her prayer, the rain stopped and the clouds began to part, ushering in a very warm and beautiful sunny day with the most beautiful blue sky the young girl had ever seen. "Ha, see, I told you, isn't this the most gorgeous day you've ever seen, or what?" Naruto's voice rang through the little brunette's ears, making her look up at the sky and smile. "Yeah, it is." Both Erza and the little girl responded at the same time. "Well, let's get going then. I wish to make it to Magnolia Town soon," Naruto told them. This of course made the little girl sad at hearing that he was leaving so soon, but then it hit her she could follow them and join them. With that in mind, she ran to the orphanage where she lived and went straight to her room, ignoring the voices of the other kids and staff members. She started to pack her clothes and her little Teru Bozu dolls she had made. As she was leaving, a group of mean boys who would always bully her stopped her. "Hey, where do you think you're going, Juvia?" The biggest boy asked her, while the other two stood to his right and left snickering. "I am leaving this place and never coming back," little Juvia told them while holding one of her Teru Bozu dolls in front of her as some sort of protection. When the boys heard this, they instantly stood aside and let her run away, but not before shouting after her, "Good, and don't you ever dare come back, you hear?" All Juvia heard was the cries of happiness from everyone in her old orphanage. Juvia left with tears in her eyes at finally realizing no one wanted her in this town, but dried her tears and knew that the blonde boy would surely accept her reign and all. Naruto group. Naruto and his group had just left the town and were on their way to the next destination, which just so happened to be none other than Magnolia Town. "Finally, man, I was beginning to think we weren't going to make it to Magnolia Town for another 3 years." Naruto laughed out. The other just laughed since they knew they were all taking their sweet time getting to Magnolia. As they continued to walk, Naruto stopped and looked at the sky, making everyone look at him. "Strange, I smell rain, but I don't see a single rain cloud." Everything wondered what he meant by that, only to stop when they heard running behind them. They turned around and saw a small blue-haired girl wearing a pink shirt and a little blue skirt with blue rain boots and, of course, a Teru Bozu doll strapped to her little pink backpack. They expected the girl to pass them and continue running, but that didn't happen. Instead, they saw her stop in front of them and look straight at Naruto. Hello, my name is Juvia Loxer and I would like to travel with you if that's alright?" Juvia asked nervously. The others were gonna say something until Naruto went straight up to her and started to sniff her hair, then her face, making little Juvia blush at the closeness. "You're a rain woman, right?" She nodded. So you were the one that made it rain back in town. Sweet, it'd be nice to have someone like you in our group. So welcome Juvia, name's Naruto and this are Erza, Simon, Sho, Miliana and the old guy is Rob. Naruto introduced them. Everyone waved at her in greeting, making Juvia shyly nod and wave back with a blush on her face. Well, come on, we're about a week away from Magnolia and I for one wish to get there and finally join Fairy Tail, Naruto told them while putting his arm around Juvia, making her blush seeing as she just now noticed he wasn't wearing a shirt. Everyone once more started their travel toward Magnolia with a smile, seeing as they had just made a new friend. 1 week later. The week had been very long week for the group. Why? Because every time Naruto showed Erza affection, even in the slightest, Juvia would become extremely jealous, and it would start to rain. Naruto of course didn't mind the rain, having told her that he actually fed off the rain itself, with him being a water slayer, since he never mentioned himself being a dragon, devil, or god slayer to her. However, after 3 days, Naruto started to shower both Erza and Juvia with equal attention to keep them happy and not have them fight one another again. Which was another thing, none of them thought Juvia knew magic until her little fight with Erza, where she displayed amazing control over water, where she showed she could turn her body into water as well. Juvia surprised them by telling them that even she didn't know she could do that. Naruto then took it upon himself to teach Juvia every water spell he knew that weren't Slayer related. Juvia absorbed every spell Naruto taught her, and the other found out that if it involved water she could learn it immediately. Naruto also taught her how to control the rain so she could call upon it at a moment's notice to boost her attacks drastically. The others were just happy to finally make it to Magnolia without any problems, but the moment they stepped into the town they amazed at the beauty of the place. Naruto and the other walked around and looked at everything. They couldn't believe how many people were around. Excuse me my boy, but I couldn't help but notice your magic signature being so big, and I was wondering if you were a mage. They all heard a voice and turned around to see a short old man. Maki, Rob said while getting in front of them all. The old man stopped and looked at Rob before his eyes grew wide with tears in his eyes. Rob, is that you, old friend? Maki asked. It is, old geezer, Rob said before they hugged and started to laugh hysterically at each other. Gramps, who is this old geezer? Naruto asked Rob. Kids, this is my old friend Makarov Dryer from Fairy Tail, Rob said to them, making them all smile and bow their head in respect. Actually, I'm the third master now, Rob. Rob just laughed at that. Well then, master, may I and my children here join Fairy Tail? Rob teasingly asked. As if you have to ask for permission, come let's head to the guild and get you all stamped, Makarov told them while heading toward the direction of where they supposed the guild was located. As they walked, the kids looked around at all the sights, taking it all in, and Naruto saw how Miliana and Sho looked dazzled by all the happy faces and the cute stores or the candy shops they could see around Magnolia. Erza stuck to Naruto's right while Juvia stuck to his left. Both were grabbing on to one of his arms and looked both shy and vulnerable. Juvia was afraid they might reject her because of her rain woman powers, while Erza was just shy to meet new people. As Makarov opened the doors to the guild, they were able to witness the massive guild brawl that was currently going on in there. Simon instantly got in front of Naruto and stood in front of him protectively, while Sho and Miliana ran behind Rob, instantly scared, thinking something was going on. Hey Gramps, want me to stop this fight? Naruto asked while putting his hand on Simon's shoulder, telling to ease up. The girls stood back and let Naruto handle this one, wanting to see what he will do. Go ahead, Naruto, Rob responded, watching him walk forward. Don't worry, Maki, Naruto's very powerful, so just stay back and watch him go to work, Rob told the old man, who only raised his eyebrow. Yeah, big bro is the strongest there is, Miliana told him. Guild Hall. Naruto calmly walked toward the center of the guild hall, where he saw an orange hair man hitting everyone that came near him and send them flying with a single punch. Naruto could sense the magical power rolling off him, and could tell this person was the strongest one here. However, he wasn't scared because he knew if he went into his dragon force he'd be able to take him on and win. Once in the center, Naruto powered up his attack and lunged at the man. The only thing anyone saw or heard was his attack name, and the moment it made contact. Lighting Dragon, Shattering Fist. Everyone watched as the attack hit the orange hair man dead center in his chest, sending him flying into the wall. When he turned around, he saw everyone with their jaws on the floor, and their eyes wide open staring at him. Now then, if you're all finished with this fight, I think the master will have word with you people, Naruto said. However, Makarov was also in the same boat as the others, as in shocked at how this kid who looked about 10 was able to take down Fairy Tail's very own Gildarts Clive there. Ace. Maki, what wrong? Rob asked as he looked at the man who was currently embedded in the wall unconscious. That boy he took out Fairy Tail's ace with one blow, Makarov said, making Rob nod his head. I see, well that's to be expected considering Naruto's power level should match that of Warid-sama, Rob said, making Makarov widen his eyes. After getting over his shock, Makarov moved to be in front of the guild bar and coughed into his hand to get everyone's attention. Well brats, as you've just seen, this kid right here along with 5 others will be joining Fairy Tail as of today, so treat them all as you would those in this guild right now. Understood? Makarov shouted for the whole guild to hear. Soon the entire guild started to cheer at having someone stronger than Gildarts in their guild, and the person was a kid no older than 10 years old. After that speech, Makarov called the children over and told them to wait, while he grabbed the stamp. Now then, where would you all like your stamp? Makarov asked. Erza got hers on her left shoulder in blue while Naruto got it over his heart in scarlet red with a blue outline. When asked why, he simply said it was his two favorite colors, which made both Erza and Juvia blush knowing he was talking about their hair color. Juvia got hers on her left thigh in sun-kissed yellow, making Naruto laugh nervously at that. Sho got his on the back on his right hand in forest green while Miliana got hers in black to right of her belly button. Simon on the other hand got his on his forehead in silver gray, and with a black outline. After being stamped into the guild, they went on to mingle with the rest of the guild. Naruto was instantly bombarded with questions about how he became so powerful. All he replied was with a smile, and put his arms around both Erza and Juvia while saying that his loved ones gave him the strength. Naruto then went on to meet with the younger generation. He was able to see a boy who unconsciously stripped and a brunette, who wore a pretty little orange dress. "Hey, name's Gray and this girl here is kinda nice to meet you," Gray said while extending his right hand in only his boxers. "Sorry kid, I don't shake hands with stripper or perverts." Naruto chuckled out. Gray looked at him weird, then looked down only to finally notice that he had once more stripped. "Aw crap, not again," Gray yelled out while going off to find his missing clothes. "Please forgive the stripper, he means well," Kana said with a little smile. "Don't worry, I was just teasing him a bit." "So Kana, was it? You wouldn't happen to know of a place to stay, right?" Naruto asked her. "Well, all the fairy tale girls stay in the dorms back in Fairy Hills, but for the boy, well, we had a dorm, but it got kind of destroyed when the boys had a fight. Well, at least Miliana, Juvia, and Erza will sleep fine tonight." Naruto smiled out. "No way, Naruto, if you guys don't find a place to stay, we're staying with you," Erza said firmly. "My love rival is right, my love, it wouldn't be right of us to sleep in comfort while you don't, so if you please I would gladly let you stay with me," Juvia shyly said while giving him the puppy dog eyes. "It'll be fine, we'll find a place to stay the night, but you three will sleep in the dorms. Okay, now go, I'm sure Kana wouldn't mind showing you the way, right?" Naruto told them. "Oh right, no of course not, so please allow me to show you the way. Fairy Hills is a wonderful place, you three will love it, I swear," Kana told them while leading them out. "Well, come on, Sho, Simon, we better start looking," Naruto told them. "See ya, Gramps, Master, we're off to try and find a place to sleep," Naruto shouted out to the two old-timers who were catching up. Naruto also saw the man he knocked out sitting on the bar with storm cloud over his head. Magnolia Town. Naruto and the two boys walked calmly down the street with Naruto holding a piece of paper. "Well, according to this, there are exactly 10 houses and 5 apartments for rent now," Naruto told them while looking at the list and trying to memorize the addresses. "So which one will we check first, big bro?" Sho asked him. "Well, actually I was thinking we should each get our own place so we don't have any problems in the future," Naruto told them. "Naruto, are you sure?" Simon asked him. "Of course, you two are growing into fine young men and you two will need your own space, so why not start now?" Naruto them. "Okay then, if you think it's a good idea then I'll do it, big bro," Sho said while taking a piece of paper from Naruto. "Great, well here are some houses for you each to check out, and if they ask for payment up front tell them you'll be back with the payment, and come find me, okay?" Naruto told them while giving a smile. With that, they each went their separate ways to start their own life but still be in touch with each other. 2 years later. It had been an amazing 2 years for Naruto and his friends. First, Naruto rose through the ranks, becoming an S-class mage at 11. Second, he officially started to date both Juvia and Erza after the master told him polygamy wasn't illegal here in Fiori. The third was facing off Guildarts in a one-on-one fight in the S-class trails, giving everyone an amazing show of power. He still remembered that day as if it was yesterday. Flashback 1 year ago. Naruto was running through the forest in the sacred fairy tale ground of Tenru Island looking for his opponent to claim the title of S-class. Dodge, his instincts yelled at him. Therefore, as he flew to the right he was able to see the invisible wave fly past him and hit a boulder. He watched as it disintegrated before his very eyes and he knew who his opponent was. "Well done, kid, well done indeed." Guildarts' voice was heard behind him. "Guildarts, it's been a while, hasn't it, old man?" Naruto teased since he knew Guildarts didn't like being called old. "Hey, I'm still fairly young," Guildarts protested. "Right, well how about we get this match on the road since I have a date with a very feisty rain woman at 7. Naruto said while making his fist go ablaze in front of his eyes. "Whatever you say, kid, it's your funeral." Guildarts smiled out. Neither moved for a few minutes just watching each other, but unbeknown to them the entire guild was seeing this epic fight to come through lacrima vision. Soon Naruto made the first move by jumping back and rearing his head back. "Lighting Dragon Roar!" Naruto shouted out while sending out a huge yellow tornado of lighting at Guildarts. Guildarts simply put his arm up and disassembled the attack, not knowing that this was Naruto's plan along. Just when he was about to tease him he saw Naruto come flying out of the aftermath and aimed an ice-covered fist at his head. Guildarts grabbed it but regretted it after since Naruto used another attack right after. Fire Dragon Wing Attack. Guildarts was sent flying with mild burns on his right side, but Naruto didn't stop his attacks since he rushed at the disoriented man. However, he was swatted away with a powerful kick to his sides. He was sent tumbling to the right. He was able to flip himself and land on his feet before deciding to stop, only relying on Dragon Slayer magic. "Now that the warm-ups are done it's time I get serious, Guildarts," Naruto told him while then disappearing from his view. Then he heard in Naruto's voice barely a whisper behind him, and he knew he didn't have time to dodge. "Shadow God Bellow." The only thing he saw was a white stream of light engulfing him before he felt himself flying, hitting dozens of trees on the way. As he got up, he saw that Naruto had taken out nearly all of the surrounding forest around them with that attack. White God Shining Judgment. Naruto wasted no time sending his next attack, and boy was it a big one considering it was coming from the sky, making Gildart start to dodge as best as he could. When Gildart saw an inch from he used his crash magic to destroy it, and wasted little time running toward Naruto. Naruto saw that Gildart had lost his signature cloak while fighting him, meaning he was done playing around. What happened next no one could describe it well, since both started to trade blow for blow. Gildart and Naruto were smiling the whole time they fought, none of them losing ground. If Naruto kneed him in the stomach, Gildart would toss him a good 500 feet away. If Gildart smashed him with crash magic, Naruto would hit him square in the face with an elemental slayer attack. After nearly half a day of fighting like this, both stood opposite of each other with giant smiles on their faces. Whatever happens here today doesn't matter, kid. Whether you become S-class or not, I will always consider you my best friend and rival you here. Gildart yelled out nearly 200 feet away. Same here, Gildart. You're the only one to ever take me to my limits, and beyond it would be my honor to call you my brother. Naruto yelled back while getting in a stance. After this attack we'll finally see who's the strongest in all of Fairy Tail. Both yelled out at the same time. Then, like a bomb going off, both rush at each other with their final attack in hand. Gildart, Naruto. Everyone in Fairy Tail saw the huge explosion that happened after that, since it disrupted their viewing lacrima. However, after 10 minutes the view came back and everyone was witness to both Gildart's Clive the Ace of Fairy Tail and Naruto Hiwa the Dragon Prince both out cold on the ground with the biggest smiles on their faces. Everyone in Fairy Tail cheered their hearts out at the explosive fight between the no doubtfully strongest people in Fairy Tail. Juvia and Erza were screaming far louder than anyone else, seeing as how their boyfriend of 2 weeks, Simon himself, couldn't hold his laughs and cheer for the person who he considered a brother. Sho and Miliana were dancing around with both Gray and Levi, and surprisingly the newbie, a pink-haired kid named Natsu Dragneel. Makarov was having a toast with Rob since they were so proud of both of them and their great show of abilities and power. After the exams, Naruto was made an S-class mage on par with Gildart's, meaning Fairy Tail now had 2 aces, something unheard of in any guild. However, Naruto never stopped growing since he started to take the hardest and most well-paying jobs around, earning himself a very fearsome reputation as the most powerful wizard in all of Fiori and the one to most likely succeed Makarov in a few years. Flashback and present day. Now though we find Naruto heading down a road with Erza and a group of 3 whom all seem to have white hair. You know, we've been traveling for nearly 2 days and not one of you has told us your names, Erza said with a little irritation in her voice. It's not our place to demand, Erza, so leave them be, they'll tell us when they feel more comfortable, Strauss the hooded one said. Excuse me? Naruto asked while stopping in the middle of the road. Mira Jane Strauss, that's my name, Mira Jane said while looking away. Well, Mira, is it okay to call you that? At her nod he continued, I would be very happy if you let me look at that arm you've been trying to hide for the past 2 days. I mean, if it's injured then maybe I can heal it, Naruto told her, making her flinch. And no, you can't. Why, you'll just think of me as a monster, Mira said while backing away from him. Please, I was raised by a dragon. I think I've seen and learned enough to not judge one for what they look like, Naruto told her. You promised to not run away from us, mister? The little one asked him with the cutest set of eyes he's ever seen. Of course not, Lisana and Elfman, I promise, and I always keep my promise. Naruto smiled while ruffling her hair. Though she was still hesitant when she saw her little sister give her the same eyes, she began to slowly bring out her right arm. She was expecting gasps or screams of horror, but instead what she got was not what she expected. Sweet, you're a takeover mage, that awesome. I've been trying my hand at that, but so far I can only do my face see. With that, Naruto transformed his face into that of a gecko. This made Lisana, Erza, Elfman and even Mira giggle a little before Naruto changed back to normal. So, anyways, what seems to be the problem? Naruto asked. I can't get rid of this arm. Everyone thinks I'm a monster or that I've been possessed by a demon, Mira said while tears leaked out of her eyes. Naruto walked forward and placed his right hand over hers, and soon a white magic circle appeared, and soon to Mira's and her siblings' very eyes the demonic arm disappeared. There, all you needed was to stop the flow of magic to that arm, and it would have gone away. See? Naruto smiled. Soon he found himself tackled by a crying Mira and her sibling hugging him, while chanting thank you repeatedly. Come on, the sooner we get to Fairy Tail the sooner you 3 can search up books about your magic and be able to control it over time. Hell, I'll even help you if you want. Mira blushed and smiled at him before hugging him once more. I'd love to if you will promise me to never leave me alone, Mira said while smiling, happy to finally be able to show off her hand again and not scare anyone. Sure, consider it as good as done. With that, they once more started on the road to Magnolia, which was 3 days away. Erza was happy to see the family smiling and happy once more, but she would have a talk with Mira Jane when they got back to Fairy Tail. She knew Juvia would be so jealous to know that there might be another girl joining them soon. Fairy Tail has gotten new members and a new ace all in the span of 2 years. What will the next 7 years be like for them? Will they be happy or sad? You guys will have to wait till next time, my friends. Fairy Tail. Fairy Tail was enjoying another day of well-being Fairy Tail with virtually everyone either brawling or drinking and dancing. At the bar was a little old man with a goofy get-up and another old man with no shirt, but he was wearing black pants and boots. To the left of them was a pink-haired woman with a small smile taking tiny sips of her drink every now and then. To their right was a man with orange hair and a slightly beard. He was laughing his ass off while drinking but mostly spilling most of his drink. Everyone was having fun with the little ones in the guild being in the corner playing or practicing their magic. That is until they all heard the church bells ring and cannons go off in the distance. The moment those two things happened they all stopped what they were doing. Do you guys hear that? Natsu asked no one in particular. All he got was wide smiles. Naruto's back. The guild screamed. Magnolia East Forest. Naruto was walking with a deadpan look on his face, giving that both Erza and Mary Jane were clinging to his arms and giving each other the death glare. Elfman and Lisana watched on with humor at his misfortune while Elfman didn't know what to actually think at the moment. Lay off him, Whitey. Erza fired at her. Make me tomato. Mary Jane hissed right back. Ladies, can't we all just be friends? Naruto tiredly asked for the 1000th time. Before either could respond, they heard bells and cannon fired in the distance, and the Strauss siblings jumped up at hearing the cannons. What was that? Mary Jane asked, still a little scared at a cannons being fired. That is how all of Magnolia knows that Naruto has returned. Erza said while looking at Naruto. They couldn't make it just bells like guild arts. Naruto mumbled while he kept on walking. The Strauss siblings just followed them from behind in case it wasn't what they said it was. Minus 30 minutes later. Half an hour later, the 5 of them made it to the town, and Mary Jane along with her brother and sister were surprised at seeing a huge crowd at the entrance to the town. Naruto-sama. They heard from somewhere in the crowd people screaming out his name. Naruto just kept on walking while smiling and waving at random people as he walked by. Mary Jane and her sibling were a little nervous at the amount of eyes on them. Erza, seeing this, just smirked and decided to taunt her a little before she felt a hand on her shoulder and saw Naruto shake his head at her. Erza, getting the message to a certain extent, knew that Mary Jane might be a little nervous considering everywhere she went people thought of her as a monster because of her demonic hand. So Erza instead placed her right hand on Mary Jane's shoulder while giving her a smile, to which Mary Jane returned, if only briefly. They continued to walk until they saw it. Fairy Tale sitting at the edge of town overlooking it with the ocean behind it. The closer they got, the more Mary Jane and her brother and sister grew nervous. Finally, after what felt like hours, they made it to the doors of the guild, and Naruto stopped and placed his hands on them. He looked back at them, and before opening them he smiled and said, "Welcome to Fairy Tale." Naruto shouted while opening the doors. The moment they opened up fully, Mary Jane was awestruck seeing all the members inside cheering and screaming their heads off. She saw mugs flying around, she saw men and women smiling and laughing while others started to dance. However, most of all she saw the love and bonds everyone had. Everyone acted as if a lost member of their family had finally returned from the dead. She saw everyone come up to Naruto, pat him on the back, shake his hand, and hug him. She smiled gently seeing how everyone loved him and how everyone enjoyed his company. "Naruto, my boy." Everyone stopped when they heard that voice. From the crowd came a short old man with a taller old-timer to his left and a pink-haired woman to his right. "Oh master, how are you?" Naruto asked while walking towards him. "Fine my boy, just fine. So how was your quest?" the master asked. "It went great master, you can chalk up another perfect job done on my chart," Naruto joked out. When everyone heard that, the entire guild roared in excitement with music starting to play out of nowhere. "I think I'm gonna like it here," Mary Jane said while looking at everyone have fun. Erza smiled and accompanied her with surveying the guild members have their fun over Naruto's accomplishments. "This is nothing compared to what they do on a regular basis," Erza told her. Both girls looked at one another and laughed out while Naruto watched them have fun from the second floor with Gildarts and Laxus. "TCH, they should learn to be more professional," Laxus said with a twitching eyebrow. "Where's the fun in that?" Naruto said without looking back at him. "This is Fairy Tale, after all we know how to party over the smallest things." Naruto laughed out with Gildarts joining in. Laxus just huffed and left with his hands in his pockets while putting on his headphones and blasting his music in a special lacrima that just came out. Ground floor. Back at the bar, the master watched Laxus leave with an annoyed face and sighed, thinking on what to do with his grandson. Before he could think more on it, he saw Erza walk towards him with 3 others. "Master Makarov, I'd like to present you to the Strauss siblings, Mary Jane Strauss, Elfman Strauss, and Lisana Strauss. They wish to join our guild." Erza introduced them, making Makarov look them over and smile. "Sure, Miss Yuki here will get you all set up," Makarov said while chugging his drink. "Things will only get more interesting from here on out," Makarov thought with a huge smile and a blush from his alcohol drink. Minus 2 years later. Time really does fly when one spends it with the people they love, huh? Those were the thought of none other than the 14-year-old Naruto Haiwa. In the 2 years that passed, he had changed from how he was back then, now standing at an impressive 5 feet 10 inches now, though he had slicked his hair back like Gildarts and had taken up wearing a cloak like him, only his was pitch black with white shoulder padding and lining. Under the cloak, he wore a skin-tight black short-sleeved shirt with baggy combat pants and steel-toe boots with both his arms bandaged like a boxer. He was much more muscular than before, with rippling abs and big biceps for his age. His magic had only grown larger and far denser than before, while also learning more magic types, with some being lost magic, ancient magic and forbidden magic. He had become known, and not just in Fiori but the neighboring countries as well. He had been asked to join the Wizard Saint but turned it down, much to everyone's shock. He had also turned down a position on the council when questioned, while he said that he would take the position until he was gone. Back in Fairy Tail, though, out of all their fights, Naruto started to beat guildarts virtually every time, much to the guild's surprise. Moreover, his relationship with his girls deepened, with Mira Jane joining and making him the envy of the men. His job score, if anyone looked they would see it, was literally 1,000 completed jobs and 0 failed. Makarov boasted about him in every guild master meeting to anyone that would listen. With him in the guild, they were getting more jobs and a lot more members. However, right now we find him walking toward the guild since the master himself had called for him in guildarts, so he had gone to get him before heading over to see what the old man wanted. Hey, do you know why the old man wanted to see both aces? Naruto questioned. Nah, I haven't been to the guild in 2 days since I just got back from a job, so I decided to sleep in. Guildarts said while yawning. You too, huh man, being an ace sucks big time, since I never have enough time to spend with my ladies, and when I do I have to cut it short because a new job comes up. Naruto whined but didn't push it since he knew what being an ace meant. Sucks to be you, man. That's why I only get my freak on with girls outside the guild and only when I'm on my job, since that means once I'm done I can book it before the girl wants a commitment. Guildarts joked, making Naruto laugh. After that, they stayed in a comfortable silence since they both enjoyed the peace and quiet of the morning. That was another thing that he loved about his life so far, and it was that he had 3 of the most beautiful girls in the guild as his girlfriends. He loved each one the same, always showing them the same amount of affection, and no less. The girls at first didn't know how to feel about it, but over time started to get along with each other. If Mira, Erza, and Juvia fighting all the time meant getting along, then yeah, they were getting along just fine. As they continued to walk, they saw the guild hall in the distance, and walked a little faster to see what the old man wanted this time. Guild Hall Master's office. Naruto and guildarts made up the stairs with no problem, seeing as everyone were still sleeping or were out on a job right now. When they made it to the master's office, they had knocked but had gotten no answer. After about 3 knocks and no answer, they went inside to find the master asleep on his desk, making them sigh. Naruto went up and nudged him awake, and when the master began to stir, he went back to standing with guildarts. Yo master, what's up? Naruto asked him, making the old man blink before remembering something. Yes, sorry about having to wake me, my boy, but I have a very special job for you, Naruto. The master said while serving himself some water he had on hand. Sure, what is it? Naruto asked while looking at him. I wish for you to do this job for me. Makarov said while tossing him a rolled-up flyer. Naruto opened it up with guildarts looking over his shoulder, and what they both saw shocked them. What? Both screamed at the same time. Master, this is a 1,000-year quest. Naruto yelled out while guildarts fainted. Yes, it is, my boy, and I have absolute confidence that you will complete it. Makarov told him with a grandfatherly smile, making him pause. When do I leave, master? Naruto asked him. Immediately, Naruto. Makarov said to him. Can I leave tomorrow, master? I wish to say goodbye to everyone today? Naruto asked. The master thought it over and after finding nothing wrong with it nodded his head and smiled at him again. Very well, but remember you are still far too young to be a father, okay? Makarov teased him, making Naruto blush red. We haven't done anything like that, why you dirty old man? Naruto screamed at him, making Makarov laugh out. Well, you best be going if you wish to say goodbye to everyone. Makarov laughed out. Fine. Naruto huffed out while walking out. Ground floor. On the ground, we find all of the younger generation of the guild hanging out together, either eating or playing board games. Hey Mira, where's big brother Naruto at? Lisana asked while looking at her with a little blue cat in her arms. Hell if I know, I went to his apartment in the morning and he wasn't home. Mira told her while eating a sandwich. Well, I was with the master this morning, Mira. Naruto's voice rang out, making them look up to see him walking down the stairs. Naruto, how are you? Mira meekly asked. No matter how strong she got, whenever she was around Naruto she would turn back to that frightened little girl he met. She would act meekly, shy, and she would trip on her own words. Naruto just made her feel so happy and safe at the same time. She had never felt like this before, and for some reason she loved this feeling. No one dared say anything to her about it, fearing her wrath. So Naruto, are we still on for our date tomorrow? Mira asked excitedly before seeing his face turn sad. You got another job, huh? She said more than asked. Yeah, and not just any job but a 1,000-year quest. He stated, making them all freeze in shock. A 1,000-year quest. Erza managed to get out. Yeah, so I was thinking we should have a get-together, and hang out before I leave tomorrow. He said, making them all nod, still a little shocked at him taking such a job. Meet me at my place at noon, okay? Naruto told them before leaving them. As he walked out the guild hall he was stopped by his 3 girls. Naruto, wait up. He stopped and turned around and saw that it was Erza who called out for him. Yeah, what is it? He didn't get to finish because the 3 of them hugged him. Please take care, okay? We don't know what we'd do without you. Mira said while they hugged him tighter. I promise on my life to come back to you 3 alive and well. He said while hugging them all back and kissing each of them on the forehead. Come on, let's go home and get ready for this going away party. With that, all 4 left and went to their shared apartment building. Erza being the one who didn't live in the build, having decided to stay at Fairy Hills and help out Yukino the best she could. Juvia had lived there for about 2 weeks before moving in with Naruto, not liking being this far away from him. Mira shared one entire floor with her siblings, with Naruto and Juvia's floor being right above them. Erza though did stay the majority of the time in his apartment, Naruto's home. After about 2 hours of getting everything ready, people started to come and hang out while going up to Naruto and wishing him best of luck on this new quest of his. I still can't believe that you're going on a 1,000-year quest, came the voice of Simon said while he came up to him and extended his hand. Yeah, I can't believe either, Naruto answered with a smile and took his hand with his own. After that he spent the rest of the night hugging the little ones like Miliana, Sho, Lisana, and even if they don't admit it, Natsu and Gray. Thank you all for coming and for believing in me, and I promise I will come back with Fairy Tail's first ever completed 1,000-year quest, Naruto exclaimed while holding his drink in the air for a cheer. Everyone cheered with him, and after that, everyone started to go crazy once more with everyone dancing and chatting away. It wasn't until nearly midnight did the party end. The next morning all of Fairy Tail and a majority of the people of Magnolia were at the main entrance to the town to see Naruto off. Erza, Mira, Juvia and surprisingly Kana were at the front hugging Naruto one last time and kissing him on the lips or in Kana's turn on the cheek. Well, I'll be off, master, so please take care of yourself. I don't want to return learning that you retired because you weren't careful, Naruto said while extending his hand. Don't worry my child, I'll be fine. Makarov waved off his concern with a smile. With that said, Naruto picked up his bag and flung it onto his shoulder and smiled at everyone one last time before turning around and walking off. As he walked out he raised his right hand in Fairy Tail's legendary farewell symbol. Everyone last member of Fairy Tail along with some of the people of Magnolia copied him. Bye big brother, take care. Those were the shout of Lisana and Miliana. With all that love and support, there was no way he would fail this job. Everyone believed in him too much. He would come back stronger and better than ever and show the world that Fairy Tail was the best guild to want to join. How long will he be gone for, and what would be the result of his job? Will he fail, or will he succeed where all others failed? You will have to stay tuned for the next chapter to find out, my friends. Fairy Tail. Life was just getting back to normal after the whole Edo loss incident. Not that many of them remembered, but for the ones that did, it was an eye-opener which made most of them rethink their life and see just what could have been different between them. I still can't believe that he was my husband in Edo loss, a 19-year-old Mira Jane said while blushing and fidgeting in her seat right across from Erza. Erza for her part was in a state of depression with a storm cloud over her, making everyone chuckle lightly at her predicament. Now Erza, that was another world and this world is the one that counts, so cheer up, at least you still have him here, Levi told her, not fully understanding what happened since she wasn't awake then. I'm not depressed about that, I'm depressed that Nightwalker killed him, Erza said with nothing but sadness in her voice. I still can't believe any version of you could do something like that, Natsu heatedly said while burning his giant turkey leg. Okay, I'm lost, who are we talking about? Lucy, the newest member to their guild, asked them with a confused expression on her face. Oh right, you never met him, huh? Erza stated more than asked. Naruto is one of the strongest if not the strongest member of Fairy Tail, Gray said before Lucy decided to interrupt. Huh, I thought Gildarts was the strongest? Now she was very confused, seeing as Gildarts was insanely powerful even for his own good. Oh, he is, but seeing as Naruto has been away for nearly 5 years, a lot of stuff could have happened. The voice of Kana came from the bar where Miliana and Lisana were catching up with each other. Yes, Big Brother was very powerful even back then, huh, Simon? Sho added in. Naruto was another level compared to everyone here. If he had been present, Laxus wouldn't have even tried his little takeover. Or would Phantom Lord even thought of attacking us? Simon told them, making Lucy, Wendy, and Gajeel shiver a little. Is he really that powerful? Wendy fearfully asked. He has beaten me more times than I have beaten him in all our spars, Gildarts loudly announced, making Lucy and Wendy hug each other while shaking uncontrollably. Gajeel was trying to act tough, but his legs betrayed him with the way they were shaking. I bet I could take him on, Gajeel announced before, to the surprise of everyone. Natsu got up with a serious look and put his hand on his shoulders. Gajeel, if there is one thing I advise to never do, it's to ever pick a fight with him. You'll lose before the match even begins. He is just powerful. I have never been able to last a full 3 seconds against him, and all he did was stare at me, Natsu told him, making Lucy, Wendy, and Gajeel look at him with surprise. And Natsu's afraid. Those were their thought while looking at Natsu as he trembled while Gray was also shaking in only his underwear. Yeah man, his no joke, fight him and he'll mop the floor with. Why he couldn't finish, since both Natsu and him felt an ominous presence behind them. Behind them were none other than Erza, Mira, Juvia and Kana with dark looks on their beautiful faces. What's this we hear you're saying about our man Natsu, Gray? Mira Jane asked too sweetly. Before they could respond to save their lives, the unexpected happened in that very moment. The church bells began to ring and a set of cannon fire were heard, making every member of Fairy Tail freeze and look out into the direction of the sound. And no way could it be. Mira Jane began before covering her mouth with tears threatening to spill from her eyes. He's finally back. Kana chalked out, with Juvia only being able to nod. Erza was the one that they couldn't see. Her hair covered her face, but everyone saw her shoulders tremble, showing everyone that she was crying. Who's back, this Naruto person? Lucy asked curiously, seeing as the mere sound of church bells and cannons were enough to make Erza, Mira Jane, Juvia, and even Kana cry. Yeah, he back. Natsu began before everyone joined in. Oberon the Fairy King is back. The guild roared in happiness, with everyone including the master crying up a river. Lucy, Wendy and Carla couldn't wait to see the supposed strongest member in all of Fairy Tail, while Gajeel didn't know whether to be excited or scared while his new partner Panther Lily being curious of this character. Minus 30 minutes away from Magnolia, walking calmly were two figures, one being a young girl with the other one being a tall man of about roughly 6 feet 2 inches with short spiked-up hair bright as the sun. He wore a black cloak with white lining going down the middle and around the hem. His eyes were a very beautiful color of crystal ocean blue, with his skin being slightly tanned from his time in the field. Under his cloak, he wore nothing but bandages around his arms that reached his elbows. He also had black pants with side guards and black combat boots. To his right was a girl of about 13 years old named Minerva Orland, who is a slim girl of average height distinguished by her Eastern look, her long, straight and glossy black hair, reaching down to her lower back, while mostly left loose, being parted in the middle of her forehead and sporting 2 bangs framing her face and going down below her shoulders. Her hair is also tied into a pair of bun-shaped dango loops at both sides of her head, and a braid is present some inches below each of such loops. She was quite timid since he found her, but he was slowly getting her out of her shell. "Master, did you hear that?" she asked him while looking up at him. "How many times must I tell you if you're going to insist on calling me that, then at least say Naruto-sensei, not master?" The now revealed Naruto told her with a sigh. "That would be a direct insult to you, so I must continue calling you master," Minerva said with a little blush and smile at him. "I'm going to be in so much trouble soon." He puffed out. All Minerva did was smile at him while remembering what happened a few months ago. Flashback. 6 months ago, Minerva was crying out in the forest naked with no one to console her. Why, you may ask? Well, because her father thought this would be the best punishment for her to learn about survival. The naked part was because her father was a psycho who thought that stripping someone of their clothes was the same as stripping them of their dignity. She hated him and wanted nothing more than to run away from him. But the problem was she had nowhere else to go. Her mother left them because she couldn't stand him anymore, and she didn't know where to even begin to look for her. She had no siblings, no friends, since they were all afraid of her father that they wouldn't even look at her direction. Now here she was huddled in a gap that she found in a tree, trying to hide from some Vulcans that wanted to use her as wife material. "Found you, little girl," she heard as she snapped her head up, only to come face to face with the Vulcan. She was scared since all she saw was the Vulcan reach for her, only to stop with wide eyes. Minerva looked at it, and then looked down and watched a magic circle on the monkey's stomach. "Hey, are you alright, kid?" she heard, and when she turned to look at the person who saved her, she once more stopped. There in front of her was a very handsome young man looking at her with concern in his beautiful crystal ocean blue eyes. Her face turned red, then she remembered she was naked and tried to cover herself, while her face turned atomic red from all the blood rushing to it. She stopped when she felt something hit her head and saw that it was the man's cloak, which now covered her nudeness. "Thank you, sir," she meekly worded out. "It's fine, but what were you doing out here in such a state of undress?" the man asked her. Minerva started to cry while telling him about her father and what he did to her, while also telling him how much she hated him. "Well, I can't make you go back and I can't leave you here, so come on, kid, you're sticking with me now," he said while smiling at her. Minerva just looked at him, while more tears fell from her eyes at finally getting a chance to escape her miserable life. Really, do you mean it, sir?" she cried out while he knelt down to her level. "I promise it is real, and I will stay with you from now on. Okay, I will protect you now," he told her while hugging her and letting her cry her heart out. After a while, she stopped crying and looked at him with red eyes that now showed for the first time in a long time happiness. "And my name is Minerva Orland, by the way," she sniffled out. "Well, Minerva Orland, my name is Naruto. Hi, nice to meet you," Naruto teased out while sticking his right hand out. Minerva, though, didn't want a handshake, so instead she ran towards him and hugged him tightly. "Thank you, Naruto," she happily said. "No problem, kid," he chanted back. Flashback end. Naruto Minerva. After that, both of them had left Minerva's old home behind and started to travel a little before heading back to his guild. He had showed her how to access her magic while also teaching her everything she would need to know about Fairy Tail and its members. Naruto learned that she had an amazing magic, which he himself would have to admit he knew next to nothing about. However, what he did know was enough for him to teach her long, enough to buy him time to research it. Now, though, he and her were pretty much at the same level when it came to her territory magic. It surprised him, though, that she had that magic, but found out that it was her father who forced her to learn it, saying the strongest magic is the only way to be the most powerful. Mage. "Hey master, is the master of Fairy Tail really going to let me join as easy as you say he will?" Minerva asked, afraid that she would be turned away and have to return to her father. "Relax, Minerva, the old man would never turn away a child. You'll be a Fairy Tail member soon enough," Naruto told her with a smile on his face, making her blush slightly. Soon they fell in comfortable silence while walking toward Magnolia Town and the place where Minerva would make her new home. "I wonder how everyone has been since I've been gone, man. I hope the master has some good news for me." Before Naruto had left, he had asked the master to look into finding out anything about his sister, which he couldn't find even a slight trace of anywhere he went. Flashback 5 years ago. As the party was going on, Naruto walked up to Makarov and looked at him with a look that said he wanted to speak with him. Both nodded and headed for his balcony, where they stayed in silence for a while before Naruto looked at him and spoke. "Master, I have a request to ask of you while I'm gone on this mission, if you would be willing to do it, that is," Naruto told him, waiting for the old master to speak. Sure, what is it, my child? Makarov asked while looking at him. Well, you see, my dragon mother said that she helped my biological mother give birth to my sister and me. Naruto, watching the master look at him with slight surprise. The only problem is she never got to tell me where she was at because she gave her to my mother's best friend while I stayed with her for my training with the intentions of reuniting us together near the end of her life regardless of how my training ended. Naruto explained, seeing Makarov understanding more and more. So you wish for me to look for your sister in your stead while you're gone? Makarov guessed, to which Naruto nodded. Yes, I have tried, but so far I have found nothing. Naruto sadly told him while looking at the sky. Very well, child, I'll try my best. Did your dragon parent tell you your sister's name at least? Makarov saw Naruto nod and sigh in relief, glad at least he had a name to begin with. Yes, she said her name was Lucy, and if the lady that took care of her married the man that was with her at the time, then her last name should be Heartfilia. I think that's what she said. Naruto told him while scratching his head. Good, well, we better return to the party before your ladies start to worry. Makarov laughed while walking back inside. Yeah, master, whatever you say. Naruto chuckled while waving his concern away. Soon I'll see you, sister, I promise. Were his last thoughts before rejoining the party. Flashback and Fairy Tail Guild. Everyone was waiting patiently for Naruto's arrival, especially Makarov, who was sitting on the rail on the second floor while looking at Lucy with a smile. Well, Naruto, I did find your sister, but it would seem she doesn't know your name, only that she has a brother somewhere out there. I wonder how you two will react to one another. Before anything else could happen, Makarov stood up and yelled at her to get her attention. Lucy, please head to my office immediately. I wish to speak with you. Makarov said seriously, leaving no room for buts. Lucy and the other were surprised but couldn't say anything because of the master's tone. Okay, master. Lucy said, a little worried of what could warrant the master to summon her to his office suddenly with no explanation. Natsu and the others saw her walk up the stairs before being pointed in the direction of his new office. -5 minutes later, just when everyone thought something was wrong, they saw the doors to the guild open to reveal the one and only Naruto Haiwa walk in with a little girl to his right side. Erza, Mirajane, Kana, and Juvia were the first to run towards him and hug him, surprising him a bit. Hey, am I in the right place, or is there a new guild in Magnolia? Naruto asked after the girls let go. No, idiot, this is the new and improved Fairy Tail. Mirajane said with tears in her eyes. Ha, I made the same mistake, kid. Good to see I wasn't the only one. Gildarts laughed out while patting on the back. Whoa, Gildarts, you've gotten older. Naruto screamed in amazement while looking at him, to which Gildart's vein popped out and he yelled. I'm not that old yet. Everyone covered their ears while Naruto merely laughed at his expense. Hey, what about us, huh? Naruto heard 4 unified yells before turning around and seeing his lovely ladies. Don't we get a hello or a kiss? Kana yelled while placing her hands on her hips to emphasize her irritation. Naruto walked up to her and kissed her on the forehead, making her huff out, wanting it to be on the lips. He then went on to hug and kiss Mirajane on the lips and hug Juvia, that got her to melt and faint with a happy smile, making him smile. The final one was Erza, and he could see she was holding back her emotions, so he simply walked up to her and grabbed her by the hips before pulling her forward. I'm home, Erza. Naruto whispered in her ear, to which everyone saw Erza smile and let her tears fall. Good, damn good. Erza whispered back while wrapping her arms around his neck and leaning in to kiss him in the lips, to which he happily returned. They forgot we are even here, huh? Gray deadpanned along with everyone. Ahem. Gildarts coughed into his hands, getting their attention and making Erza blush as red as her hair. Everyone then started to cheer for them and for Naruto returning, and all he did was smile and return handshakes, hugs, and accept their warm welcome. Wendy, Carla, Gajeel, Panther Lily and Lisana watched with Natsu, happy and gray. So what kind of job did this guy take? Another 100-year quest like that Gildarts guy? Panther Lily asked. Nope, he took one even harder. Lisana said with a huge smile. So what kind was it, Miss Lisana? Wendy asked with Carla in her arms. 1,000-year quest. Natsu and Gray announced, making the 4 of them jaw drop and look at them in utter surprise. My boy, the sound of their master's voice calmed everyone down and let him pass with Minerva and his girls behind him. Master, Naruto happily said while standing below him. How did the quest go? Makarov asked with his eyes closed, trying to hide his pride, already knowing the answer. I guess I do deserve my second moniker, huh, master? Naruto said, getting everyone to start smiling. The Demon King of Fairy Tail reporting another successful mission, master. With those last 3 words out, the guild roared into another brawl. You may join the guild later, my boy. First we must speak in my office, so come. Makarov said while getting Naruto to appear beside him from a yellow flash. Sure, master. Naruto said. Both hears the guild laughed, and cheering his victory. That was so cool, teach it to me please, Naruto. Natsu's loud voice could be heard as they made their way to Makarov's office. Makarov's office. From inside, all Lucy could hear was the roar of happiness from the guild as they celebrated one of their own safe return. I wonder if this Naruto is back yet? Lucy questioned aloud while looking around the master's office. As she looked around, she saw many books on the wall, some she wished she could read and others that caught her eye. She also saw piles of paper on the desk in front of her, making her smile and giggle. I guess those are the complaints the master receives from our many clients, huh? Lucy noted while laughing a little. She saw pictures of the master and younger versions of the members from years ago, along with a picture that had Gilbert's, the master, and the younger generation minus herself, of course, posing for the camera. Hell, even Laxus was there to the side giving off the peace sign, and in the middle of Erza, Kana, Juvia and Mary Jane was a blonde-haired boy with 3 whisker-like marks holding up Natsu on his shoulders, with both of them wearing a foxy smile. Guess this is that Naruto person, huh? Giggle. Guess Natsu and him are quiet close, huh? Lucy smiled happily, seeing that this Naruto might not be so scary after all. She then heard the door open and saw the master walk in, followed by Naruto, who she saw was very tall since she barely reached his chest in height. Who's this master, a newbie? Naruto asked, making Lucy gulp and nod her head. No, this is your sister Naruto, Makarov lazily said, making both look at him in surprise and shock. She's my sister! Naruto screamed while looking at her and Makarov. Lucy was no better off. Even though she knew she had an older twin out there, she never would have guessed it was him. She just stared at him and tried to come to reason that this man was her older twin brother who her mother spoke of. She knew that she wasn't her real mother, given that she always told her she wasn't, and add in that her adopted parents had once tried for a child but ended up with a miscarriage. However, that didn't stop her from calling them mother and father. Layla will always be her mother, while Jude, no matter how cruel and selfish he was, will always be her father. Her mother always told her stories of her biological mother and father, and how happy they looked together. So you're my big brother Naruto-chan? Lucy asked, making them look at her strangely. What? Naruto asked, never hearing anyone calling him that. That's what my adopted mother Layla used to call you, Lucy told him. Oh well, my name is Naruto Hiwa, and before he could finish, Lucy interrupted him. Wait, Hiwa, I thought Mom said you took up our parents' last name when you were taken away for training by Miss Lily, Lucy asked, stretching out the word OURS to emphasize it, since she still couldn't believe she had found her brother. Well, Lily never got around to asking our mother for her last name, given the state she was in the first place, Naruto explained to her, making her nod. Oh well, would you like to know it? My mother told me their last name should I ever wanted to take it up, Lucy asked. She at one point had wanted to, but thought better on it, since even if she did take it up she would have to change it eventually when she got married. Therefore, she decided to hang on to the Heartfilia name until then, and decided to remember her parents through her brother. You know them? Naruto asked, surprised at that. Well, my adopted mother was best friends with our mother. Remember, anyways, our mother's last name is Uzumaki, and our father's last name is Namikaze. If you wish to rhyme. She was stopped when Naruto ran to her and hugged her tightly. Thank you, and it's great to finally meet you, little sister, Naruto said while letting out a few tears at finally being able to hug his Imato. It's great to finally meet you too, big brother, Lucy responded while burying her face in his chest to hide her tears of happiness. Well then, what will you do now that you know your parents' last name? Makarov asked from his place in his chair. First, I will build them a place here in the Cardia Cathedral Cemetery, and finally I will change my last name to Naruto Uzumaki, Naruto said, making him nod. What about your father? The master asked. When I have 2 sons, I will name the oldest after my old man, and give him his last name, and the younger one I will give him my mother's last name. That way I will honor both of them. What about you, Lucy? Naruto asked his sister. I love our parents, but Layla was the one who raised me, and though I wish to take up our parents' name, I feel like I would be betraying her, and everything she sacrificed in order to raise me, Lucy said with a sad smile, thinking Naruto would be disappointed in not having her join her in taking their parents' last name. It's okay, Lucy, even though Lily never had a last name, I would feel the same if she did have one. I believe your parents would be proud of whatever you two chose, Makarov told them while smiling at them. With that, both smiled at him and left him to join the others and tell them the news about them both being related. Ground floor. Back in the giant guild brawl, Erza, Kana, Juvia and Mirajane were at the bar watching everyone have fun. To their right were Wendy, Carla, Natsu and Happy, and to their left were Levi, Gajeel, Panther Lily and Minerva. They were talking about Naruto at the moment, and what he did for the little Minerva. I see, so Naruto saved you from your father, huh? Mirajane rhetorically asked. I swear if I ever meet your old man I'm giving him a beating like his never felt before, Natsu said while fire in both his hands. Calm down, Fire Brain. If anyone is going to teach that guy a lesson, it's going to be me, since I'm a better fighter than you, Gray smugly said, making Natsu glare at him. What did you say, stripper? Natsu yelled back. You heard me, you pyro, Gray shouted back. See, I told you they would be fighting, little sister. Everyone in the guild stopped when they heard Naruto's voice say little sister. Everyone knew that Naruto had a lost sister, given he was always gone looking for her whenever he was not on jobs, that is. So when they heard his voice say little sister they were surprised, but when they looked to see who it was everyone had only one thing to say. What? Naruto and Lucy stood on the second floor with matching smiles, seeing everyone's reaction. It would seem both had the same tendency to want to prank others, something they were certain came from their mother if the stories Lucy was told, and then told her brother, were true, that is. This is going to be very fun, both siblings thought while feeling their Uzumaki blood start to boil in anticipation for all the fun they were going to have. 1 month later. It had been a month since Naruto had returned, and since he and Lucy found out they were brother and sister. At first, everyone thought they were joking, but one quick trip to Port Yusuka had confirmed it. After that, Naruto and Lucy spent a week together, going out for lunch, just getting to know one another, and just catching up. Naruto's girls also got to spend time with her since they were all dating Naruto, so like any other girls they tried to get on her good side. This of course made Naruto and Lucy laugh since Lucy had no say in his relation since they had obviously known him longer than her. Nevertheless, she played along and acted the part of the overprotective mother and sister at the same time. After that hilarious week, Naruto asked her if she knew any other magic than celestial spirit magic. Lucy had said no, to which she looked a little sad at, but Naruto cheered her up with saying if she would like to learn one of his many magics. It took a while, but they had settled for gravity magic, a magic which Naruto was well known for using in combat against dozens of dark mages. Naruto then spent countless hours teaching her the magic, only taking breaks to go on jobs with his girls or to go on dates with them. However, he had also found Wendy to be incredible, adorable, and had outright proclaimed to adopt her on the spot, making Wendy blush from the attention she received after that. Carla was not to please and had tried to insult Naruto about it, but one quick glare and focused blast of his magic shut her up immediately. When he found out that she was nowhere near completing her Sky Dragon Slayer magic, he took it upon himself to help her. Now, after 2 weeks of training with him, we find both Wendy and Lucy opposite of him, panting and tired with bruises and shallow cuts all over them. I knew my brother was strong, but this is insane, Lucy thought while looking at Naruto just standing there with his hands crossed and a smile on his face. I guess Papa does deserve the title of the Demon King of Fairy Tail, only a demon can have this much power, Wendy thought while eating the air around her to gain back some magic. Are you two done resting yet? Naruto laughed a little since he saw them both glare at him. Come on, you two, show me some more of your power. Wendy, I'm sorry, but in order for you to awaken your dragon force I must keep on hurting you a little bit more. And Lucy, you're not weak, you're my twin sister. If I'm this powerful you should be as well. No, you should be far more powerful. Naruto wasn't able to finish his thought because Wendy announced her next attack. Sky Dragon Roar. Gravity Pull. Lucy instantly tried to pull her brother in the direction of the attack but failed, seeing how her brother merely ate the attack. Come on, I'm even giving you two a handicap with me only using my Wind Dragon Slayer magic. Naruto shouted back, angering them further. Lucy Lily once told me that she chose me because of my huge magic reserve and that they would only grow with time, making me go excruciating pain if I didn't learn to control it. But she told me your magic was far more potent than mine, meaning it doesn't matter how much magic you have, your magic will always be more powerful than mine, so why aren't you using it? Naruto had seen it the moment he started to train her. The only reason he took to learn so many magics was to have different outlets to expel the large amounts of magic that his body naturally produced. However, by doing that he just simply increased his own reserves even more, but his adopted mother had told him that his sister had the reserve ability. She had said that his sister had far less magic reserves than he did, but that it really didn't matter since her magic was just far more dense and potent than his. He had asked for an example, and she said that where he could throw around magic spell after magic spell at will, his sister couldn't. She said that where his most powerful magic attack could potentially destroy half a mountain, at his strongest his sister's could destroy the mountain and everything around it. This shocked him and asked how that was possible, to which Lily had simply said she had no idea. Something must be wrong if you can't use your full power, Lucy. Just when Wendy and Lucy were going to attack, again Naruto raised his hand in a stop motion. That's enough for today, girls, we will pick this up another time. For now we have to head over to the guild because the master has an announcement to make. Both girls fell to the knees in relief at that, and nodded, while standing back up and walking up to him to go and freshen up. Hey Naruto, does this announcement have anything to do with why everyone has been acting like job requests were the end of the world? Lucy asked him while they walked toward him home. Lucy would often stay with him every now and then to just be a regular family, something they both enjoyed. Why, the matter of fact it does, but I can't say anything since it's the master's job to say it, Naruto said while walking, making Lucy pout. But aren't you going to be the next master, Dad? Wendy asked with Carla in her arms. Who said that, Wendy? Naruto asked curiously. The whole town is saying that, Naruto, Mary Jane said, appearing beside them with a bag of groceries in her hands. Really, I haven't heard anything from the master yet, so it might just be a rumor, Naruto said, trying to play it off. So the rumor that the Wizard Saints are trying to recruit you as well as the council are just that, rumors too, Big Brother? Lucy said while smirking in his direction. Those two have been trying to recruit me for so long now, man, I thought they would have given up by now, Naruto said with a giant sigh. Although with them gone from the council, maybe I can finally trust them enough to give them a chance. Yes, this could also solve some of Fairy Tail's problems. I'll talk with the old man about it later. Alright, then you two head over to your places and change, then head towards Fairy Tail. I'll be there with the master, okay? Naruto said while taking the bag from Mary Jane, who smiled at him. Okay, later, Mary Jane. Naruto, Lucy yelled while walking in the direction of her home. Be bye, father and mother, Wendy shyly said, still not used to calling them that. However, Erza and the other insisted on her calling them that now that Naruto adopted her into his family. Well, let's go, Mira, the master is waiting and I for one want to see the others' faces when they find out I'll be in the S-class exams this year, Naruto said with a laugh. Yes, that will be funny to see, but not as funny as everyone finding out that you and me are going to have a baby, huh? Mary Jane told him, making him sigh. I still can't believe it, and you just told me yesterday in front of the old hag, Naruto said, remembering how poorly Yusuke beat the living shit out of him. To all that don't know, poorly Yusuka thought of Naruto as her grandchild, and when she found out he was going to be a father she beat him up not because he had unprotected sex but because he was basically making her a great-grandmother. In addition, to add insult to injury, he had to say in front of her after getting his ass kicked that he adopted Wendy, to which he got another round of ass whooping. Who knew Miss Poorly Yusuka knew such dark magic? I like her, Mary Jane said while smiling. Yeah, now I have to deal with Erza, Kana, and Juvia's jealousy as well, and it doesn't help that Juvia nearly raped me in the shower this morning either, Naruto said, not minding it but sure as hell not wanting to conceive a child by rape. Well, she is persistent, huh? Mira pointed out. If by persistent you mean a weird kind of psychotic way, then yes, I agree. After that, both laughed and continued to walk in silence. Naruto, I'm scared, Mira said out of nowhere, surprising him. Of what? Being a mother? No, I feel that something bad is coming in the S-class exams and I don't want anything to happen to you or our child, Mira said, making Naruto hug her. Don't worry, if anyone tries anything toward you or our child or any of my family members, I'll skin them alive while making them regret ever so much as touching your beautiful hair, Naruto seriously said to her. Promise, was all she said into his chest. I promise, Mira Jane. Naruto looked up toward the sky while hugging her closer, almost feeling her fear in her, and he began to worry, for he too had felt something was off in the S-class exam this time around. No matter what this feeling is, I will never let anyone hurt my family, so please, mother, father, please give me the strength to protect them, please. Both stay that way, never knowing the horrors that will befall them in the exams. Will Naruto be able to stop the inevitable, or will he fail the same way his father did all those years back? You will have to wait until next time, my friends. Fairy Tail Guild Hall. Naruto had gone back to his place to shower and change for this little meeting that the master had planned. As he made it to the guild, he saw that everyone was already gathered around the little stage they now had, waiting for the master to start. Naruto quickly teleported using his trusty Flying Thunder God technique he had created in his 5 years away. As he made it backstage, he saw that Erza, Mira Jane, Gildarts, and the master all standing waiting for him. The moment he appeared besides Gildarts, the master turned to him and smiled. Nice to see you made it, my boy, the master said while turning forward and swiping his arm, making the curtain lift to show the guild the 5 powerhouses of the guild together. Back in the ground, Lucy and Wendy were together waiting for the commotion to settle so they could find out what was going on. Therefore, when the curtain lifted and they saw Naruto and the rest of the S-class mages along with the master, did they get a clue to what was going on. Hello everyone, I know you have all been waiting for this moment for a long time now, and I am here to give you what you wanted, the master loudly announced, making everyone cheer. This year's S-class qualification exam will take place on Tenru Island, our guild's holy place, Naruto continued for the master, making everyone smile. This time around the would-be S-class mage must have a partner with him, her, to be able to pass. Mary Jane followed. There will only be 8 people participating this year, so whoever is chosen must choose wisely, the master explained, making everyone start looking at each other, as if already saying they would be chosen. Also, there is some rules you must remember. 1. Only those wearing our guild mark may partake in this exam. 2. You may not ask an existing S-class member to be in your team. 3. Anyone caught cheating while on the island will be immediately dropped without the possibility of continuing the exam. Understood? Erza sternly said, making everyone shiver but nod nonetheless. Lucy and Wendy just stared at them, finally understanding the commotion that transpired this whole week. That's not all for both, Naruto, and I will be partaking in this year's exams. Good luck, Gildart said, making everyone pale at that. Lucy and Wendy instantly started to feel sorry for whoever participated in this exams, knowing just how powerful their brother/father was. When everyone else heard this, everyone started to sweat and complain about how this exam would be impossible to pass. Silence allows the master to finish, everyone, Gildart spoke up, getting everyone to calm down. With that, the master went on to explain the rules and everything else they would need to know about the exams. Naruto didn't pay attention as this focus was on 2 people, one being Kana and how she would react to her being chosen again, and the other to a man with a scar on his face. Naruto knew Kana's little secret after all. No, she didn't tell him. After all, she didn't need to tell him if she wasn't ready. He was able to figure it out simply through her magic signature alone. But this man, however, was a mystery to him since he doesn't remember him at all. Even if he did join in the 5 years he was gone, how could Naruto remember him, almost making it in the last exam? He would need to keep his eyes open for him since he didn't trust this man, and would need to keep him in sight. Now that the 8 examens have been selected, you all have 1 week to train or get ready, so see you all in 1 week's time in Hargenport, Naruto said while keeping his eyes on this mess person. Erza and Mira Jane went to his sides, waving at everyone as they placed their right hands on his back before everyone watched them disappear in a yellow flash. Man, that's quite the technique he made, a master? Gildart said while unbeknownst to them Mest narrowed his eyes after watching Naruto disappear in that teleportation technique. Yes, to think he was able to find a way to manipulate space and time like that. He truly will be one of the most powerful mages Fiori has ever seen with time, Makarov said while walking away with Gildarts to prepare for the exam in a week. Naruto home. The moment they made it home, Mira Jane had gone to the kitchen to prepare a feast, seeing as today not only was Kana chosen for the S-class trails but so was Juvia. Naruto, why don't you go get Lucy to come over for our little celebration, Erza told him while trying her hardest to help Mira cook, even though she knew she wasn't a good cook. Sure, I'll be back in a little, then I'm going to bring Wendy as well, okay? he shouted as he exited his big home. Naruto had moved out of his apartment to a bigger home fit for someone who would have a huge family. His old apartment, he had tried to give it to Lucy, but she had said no since she liked her little apartment by the river. Therefore, he ended up giving it to Wendy, who was surprised at this, but he told her she was his daughter, and so if she wanted to live alone then she should at least live in his old apartment. It also helped that his old apartment had security runes everywhere, so Wendy would be safe should anyone try anything against her. He had taught her how to activate them and deactivate them. Now as he walked down the snow-covered streets toward Wendy's new apartment, he couldn't help but frown, as this feeling of dread wouldn't leave him. He had a nightmare of himself holding on to someone he couldn't see since his sobbing and trembling upper body covered the person's face, but he could tell it was a woman, from her clothing choice. However, he knew it was one of his girls, and he was even more alert now than ever, not wanting that vision to come true. So deep in thought was he in that he almost missed the building he was supposed to enter had it not been for the door attendant calling him. "Good evening, Mr. Naruto, out for a stroll?" he asked. Naruto blinked when he saw he was about 2 feet away from the door. "Oh Mike, how have you been? And no, actually I'm here to see my daughter. Is she in?" "Why, she herself just returned from a little walk as well. Should I call her down for you?" he asked politely. No need, I'll head up myself," he said while walking past him. "Okay, then have a nice night, sir," he said while pushing a button to let him in. With that, Naruto entered and headed for his old home while taking the lift to the top floor. When he first gave Wendy the apartment, she thought it was a little old regular apartment. That all changed when he showed her it was in fact a penthouse apartment with a view of Magnolia. This was one of the many businesses Naruto helped make over his time away on the many jobs he had. He had helped many people, freed many hostages, some who were rich, some who were poor. However, he was able to make deals to make sure all the poor ones had a place to live in peace. Therefore, he offered the rich business deals like hotel, restaurant, and even casino contracts, and where to make them. They were suspicious at first, but with a little talk, they all agreed and got to work. Now he would get a 40% income from all this business since he was a partner of them. Now as he left the lift, he walked down the small hallway to the front door of his old penthouse apartment, and he couldn't help but smile at his adopted daughter and Carla's voice. He knocked and waited for her to open, which didn't take long since she opened almost immediately. "Father, what are you doing here?" Wendy asked, a little surprised since Naruto almost never visited unless it was important. "I'm just here to invite Carla and you to a small feast Mira is preparing for Juvia and Kana for entering the S-class exams this year," Naruto told her. "So come on, we still need to get Lucy to come with us as well, you know." "Okay, I'll be ready in a bit." With that, Wendy ran back inside and got ready as well as got Carla ready for the little feast of theirs. As they left the building, Wendy told him about her encounter with Mest. She told him how he asked her to be his partner in this year's exams. This alone made Naruto more suspicious of him. Wendy told her it was because he was once Mistigan's pupil and that since both knew him they would work fine together. Naruto didn't have the heart to tell her that Mistigan never had a pupil, seeing as he knew him as the one who took care of the guild in the darkness. No one knew what he had done for the guild except him. Both were dark at heart, doing whatever was necessary for the guild even if it meant dirtying one's hands to do so. His mother taught him that much, telling him that he would need to be tough to take out enemies like Tartarus, Agnologia and Zerif. Therefore, for someone to lie about being Mistigan pupil was strange since he never wanted to interact with other people for his mission's sake. "So father, what should I do? I told him I would give him an answer tomorrow, but I don't know what to do." She was troubled over what she was going to do. "Do what you see is right, Wendy. I can't always answer everything for you. This is a choice you have to make on your own to grow as a person," Naruto answered while keeping his eyes on her. Wendy just kept walking while thinking it over as they made their way to Lucy's home by the riverbank. Lucy's home. They made it to her home where they found both Kana and Lucy having some tea in her small living/bedroom. "Hey there, Kana, sister, how's it going?" Naruto greeted with a simple wave. "Fine, just having some small girl talk, you know." Lucy tried to lie, only making Naruto not understanding what was really going on. "So hey, why don't you both come with me to my home? Mira is preparing a big feast in celebration for Juvia and you for being chosen for the S-class exams, Kana," Naruto told her, making Kana smile, if only a tiny one. "Of course Lucy is invited as well," he quickly added. "And me really well, thank you, Kana. Shall we get going?" she asked, still a little worried for her friend. "Yeah, let's go have ourselves some fun," she said, though a bit somberly if anyone noticed. After that, they all left with small smiles, walking to Naruto's new home near the outskirts of town. His house wasn't a mansion per se, but it was a big 3-story house if you can count the attic as a floor, that is. It had 5 bedrooms in the second floor, while in the first floor he had an additional 4 rooms with a living room, dining room and kitchen. He had made the basement into his personal training ground so he may work on the less destructive spells he had. He had intentionally left extensions plans ready should he need to expand his home in the future. His surrounding property was huge, being a mile of land. He had spent a pretty amount of money to make it that big, and it was worth it for him. He wanted to have enough space and privacy to work and live with his family, and having a big plot of land helped. His home was isolated from the rest given how big and spacious it was compared to the other houses around. Kana and the others had fainted when they set eyes on them the first time they saw it. For Wendy this would be her first time seeing his home in person since she had only heard things from Lisana and Minerva. Minerva and Wendy had become great friends in the month they had known each other since they were the same age. However, Wendy saw that Minerva was stronger than she was because she trained a lot more with her father than her. As they were all lost in thought, they never noticed that they had made it to their destination. Well, we're here, ladies, so come on, I can tell you four are hungry. Just when Lucy was going to deny it, her stomach growled loudly, making itself known. Everyone laughed at her, making her face go as red as Erza's hair, which she then tried to hide behind Kana from embarrassment. When they entered, they were greeted to the sight of a huge table filled with food of every kind from soup to baby back ribs. Well, dig in everyone or the food will get cold, Mira told them while putting the final plate down on the table. Those simple words made everyone jump into action as they ran to grab a plate and start serving themselves. The feast was nothing glamorous, but it was enough to make them happy and get them ready for the S-class exams. In 1 week the exams will begin, and one of them will be an S-class mage. Please let this feeling be false. 1 week later, the week had gone by fast for the team that was for sure. Some had spent the week training and other had spent it relaxing. Naruto and the other S-class mages had left the next day to Tenru Island to prepare for the exams. Now we find the team standing around the master in Harjan port waiting to board the ship that will take them to Tenru Island. 8 people have been chosen for this S-class exam, and now it is time to show us the fruit of your week-long training to prove one of you is worthy of being S-class. The words of Makarov rang through their ears as they watched the boat that would take them to their destination arrive. Now from here on out you will be rivals for the same thing, the rank of S-class, so put on your war face and get ready to suffer. The master shouted while jumping onto the boat. Soon after, the team started piling up onto the boat to leave, with Natsu trying to suggest he use Happy instead of the boat. Makarov of course smacked him in the head, knocking him out and throwing him on board. Let's depart, Captain, Makarov shouted, making the old sailor smile and nod back. Tenru Island campsite. Naruto and the others were in the campsite fixing it up for the teams for when they failed. Naruto, so are you gonna go serious in this exam, or are you just gonna let them walk past you again? Gildarts asked while finishing putting the tent up right. Naruto will go serious on them, for this is a test, not a vacation. You got it, Naruto-kun. Erza sweetly told them, making them both pale and hug each other. Yes, honey, Naruto squeaked out, making her smile. Mary Jane was just smiling while checking to see if they had enough food to last at least 3 days. Now Erza, please leave Naruto-kun alone, he need to prepare for his little showdown, Mira said while grabbing apple and taking a bite. Even if the team he gets stuck with is weaker than him, he shouldn't underestimate them, Mira. As this was going on, Naruto and Gildarts made a run for it. Some time later, after running away from the 2 bickering girls, Naruto and Gildarts made it to a cliff overlooking the port where the teams would be arriving. So you haven't told your other girls that Mira is expecting a Naruto? Gildarts asked while standing to his right. Naruto for his part was sitting on the edge with one leg dangling off the cliff with his other leg bended for arm support. No, since we both think it isn't the right time yet, given what's going on right now and all. The master would have understood the reason as to why you guys would take some time off from the guild, Naruto. It not that we're worried about, it's the reaction of Kana, Juvia and Erza. We are worried about how would they react to her being pregnant first, Naruto told him while they both spotted the boat in the distance. Right, Erza is very short-tempered and Juvia isn't far behind her in terms of jealousy. Kana would probably tease you too while Erza tries to castrate you and Juvia tries to jump your meat. Gildarts teased him while Naruto stood up. Unfortunately you are correct, old man. I'm not that old, you brat. Gildarts screamed at him as they made their way back. On their way back, Erza and Mira catch up to them and start walking with them to the designated spots for the exam. Hope this year's teams are entertaining at the least, Gildarts proclaimed while going his way. Just say good luck and leave, you old fart, Naruto teased, making him mock glare at him for a second before grinning and heading out. Good luck, Erza, Naruto told her while grabbing her waist and kissing her on the lips, making her wrap her arms around his neck and deepen the kiss. Once they separated, Erza kept her arms around him, still in a daze from the intense kiss. Gee, good luck to you too, Naruto-kun. She managed to get out before wobbly leaving to her spot. Naruto-kun, what about me? Mirajane's sweet voice brought him back to life. When he stared at her, he couldn't help but smile at her cute little pout. Mira, promise me you will take extra care of yourself, okay? He began while putting his arms around her. I promise, Naruto, nothing will happen to me or our child, I promise. Mira reassured him while laying her head over his chest where his heart was. Then I wish you good luck and please don't hesitate to throw that kunai I gave you if anything happens, okay? Naruto told her while pointing to the kunai in her waist that she and the other girls plus his sister, daughter, and student had. Okay, then I guess all that is left is to wish you the best of luck. With that, he kissed her with the same intensity that he kissed Erza a few moments ago. -30 minutes into the exam, Naruto's location. Naruto was bored out of his mind for the past 30 minutes that the exam had officially begun. All he had to keep him entertained was some word puzzles that his daughter and sister had given him. What is a 7-letter word that means the same as winnersum? Naruto asked no one in particular, as he laid on a boulder waiting for his challengers. Victor's would be your answer. Naruto raised an eyebrow when he heard an unfamiliar voice answer him and looked toward the source. Who might you two be, since I can tell you two aren't from fairy tale? Naruto asked while setting his crossword puzzle aside and jumping down to meet them face to face. The 2 figures came out of the shadows of the cave and Naruto saw them firsthand. One looked like a giant chicken with the way he seemed straight down to the red things that chickens have. The other looked canine in appearance, but their looks didn't bother him. No, their guild marks is what set his danger senses to go crazy. Grimoire Hearts. Naruto spat out. Before he could move, the entire roof of the cavern exploded onto him, burying him in a rock slide. This was the strongest wizard fairy tale had to offer. What a joke. The dog man laughed out. Yeah, and if the rest are as weak as him, then Master Hades will have no problems killing them. The chicken man clucked out. With that, they walked past the giant pile of rocks, leaving Naruto for dead. Had they stayed, they would have seen Naruto walk out of shadows with no injuries whatsoever. Man, glad I changed with that thought projection in time. Naruto said aloud before getting serious. What is Grimoire Heart doing here in the first place anyways? He thought aloud while running in the opposite direction towards that camp. As he ran, he couldn't stop thinking of Mira Jane, and where was she, and if she had made contact with the Dark Guild. No, stop thinking things like that. Mira Jane is okay, she can handle this small fries. Mira Jane's location. Mira Jane was having a weird day so far from hearing that Elfman and Evergreen would be having a baby and getting knocked out by Evergreen in the process. She then awoke in the camp with Erza, Lisana, and Juvia around her, telling her about their fight. The next thing she knew, Erza and Juvia left to find some drinkable water for the soup and for the rest of the guildmates that would follow. Now, though, she was standing back to back with Lisana with nearly 20 dark mages from the notorious Dark Guild Grimoire Heart. Lisana, are you okay? Mira shouted while sidestepping a fire spell and roundhousing a dark mage in the neck. Yes sis, I'm fine, don't worry, it seems those lesson big bro Naruto taught you are really worth the effort, huh? Lisana shouted back with a smile, which Mira returned. Though I'm not at his level yet, I'm happy he took the time to teach me some hand-to-hand stances, Mira told her while grabbing a nearby mage, taking his staff, using it as a bow staff, and smacking the mage back while swinging it and smacking 3 on the head. Naruto was not happy since he was kept away from not only his girls but his sister and daughter as well. He was surrounded by dozens of mages firing elemental spell at him. He just took it before sending it back tenfold at them, taking them all out in one go. With another batch of dark mages out of his way, he proceeded to move forward to the campsite where he could sense 3 magic signatures, 2 of which he recognized as the Strauss sisters and the other he knew damn well as Myra's and his unborn child. Hang in there, Mira, I'm coming. Just as he was going to start running towards her location, more mages popped out and attacked him, making him this time jump back. As he backpedaled to avoid the spells, he readied his one-shot attack to finish it quickly. May the mercy of God save you! Naruto screamed while putting his right hand into the air. The mages stopped when the sky lit up in a bright gold light, making the fighting all over the island stop and look at his direction when a giant pillar of gold light struck the earth. The resulting earthquake made the island submerge for only a few seconds before everyone was back soaking wet. Back with Naruto, everything cleared to show a crater around him 20 feet deep and 20 feet wide with no sign of life around. White Devil God's raging pillar, one of my most dangerous attacks if I don't have control over it, Naruto thought while looking at the results of his attack before jumping to the other side and continuing on toward camp. Naruto was no longer taking his time with the mages, and he was done playing around with them as his entire focus was on Mira Jane. Tough, this dark mages seemed to have other plans, since even though they knew they stood no chance, they kept coming back for more. What worried him the most was the frantic nature of Mira magic signature that he felt right now. It started a few minutes ago as he felt her magic spike in anger for some reason. Then it spiked again, but this time in desperation and anguish, which made his wonder. Now her magic signature was erratic and fast-paced, which made it hard to sense their child. Just as he was going to rush it past his newest batch of victims, he heard a giant explosion in the direction of the camp. Then he heard what he didn't want to hear at all in his life, and that was the scream of Lisana. Mira! When he heard her scream, that his heart stopped, not because of what she screamed but because he felt her magic signature disappear from his senses. Campsite. Lisana was cradling her sister's unmoving body while one of the so-called kin of purgatory looked on with no emotion. How disappointing it was to fight the so-called she-devil here. I expected more from her, the man said while extending his right hand at them. Allow me to put you 2 out of your misery. Just when he started his attack, a hand grabbed his wrist and snapped it with little effort but held on. As he looked towards the one responsible for actually harming him, for some reason he started to sweat when he was met with slit rage-filled eyes. No, allow me to put you out of your misery. Before he could answer, he was sent back flying with a well-placed right hook to the face. Had it only been a regular right hook he would have brushed it off, but this one was a titanium-covered right hook to the center of his face. As he stood, he saw another fist headed his way, this time covered in fire, and he had just enough time to sink into the tree to avoid the blow. What happened next scared him beyond words. This beast reached into his wood world and dragged him straight out before using a direct dragon roar at his uncovered and bloody chest. White dragon roar. The roar went straight through his chest, leaving a gaping hole where his heart should be. No one hurts my family and gets away alive, Naruto yelled out, making all the surrounding Grimoire Heart mages flee in fear. Just when he was about to give chase to them, he heard Lisana called him in a frantic way. Be big brother, come quick, something isn't right with sis. Lisana screamed out, making him snap back to reality, and ran towards them. What is it, Lisana? He got his answer when he saw the blood coming from between Myra's legs. And no, please don't let this be true. Before his thoughts got any further, he felt Myra's hand on his cheek. As he looked down, he expected her sweet smile he had grown fond of over the past month back. Instead, he got the tear-stained smiling face of his beautiful poster girl who was trying to make out some words. I lost our child. Those words made him the so-called most powerful mage in Fairy Tail crumble. Lisa, who heard her sister, started to cry as well, somehow feeling responsible for this mess since Mira had tried to protect her but in the process scarified her first child. Naruto fell to his hands and knees crying his eyes out while Mira also cried while looking at the sky. Why is life so unfair? Those were the thoughts of Mira and a figure watching in the shadows crying as well at the unfairness of reality. Just when this man was going to leave, he turned around with wide eyes and looked directly at the beast Grimoire Heart had just unleashed. There in his hands and knees was Naruto Uzumaki, the strongest mage to grace Fairy Tail since Gildarts. He was said to be able to crush a mountain with nothing but a pinky by the children who looked up to him. Adult respected and feared him for his power as well as spread his name wide and far of the monster Fairy Tail had in their ranks. That was not what this man was seeing. What he was seeing was a broken man standing up with blood lust leaking out of him. For once he was afraid, something he never thought he would ever feel again. Lisa, don't you dare leave her side, understood? The hollow voice of Naruto told her, making her shudder in fear. Why yes, big brother Naruto. She responded before like the wind. Naruto was gone. Lucy, Kana, Gray, and Loki location. Lucy would be the first to admit they were having trouble taking out the goat man in front of them. Why isn't anything working? Kana screamed while throwing out more cards at him. Ice Make. Geyser Gray tried once more to attack him only to have him dodge it with little effort. Now do you see how useless your attacks are against me, or do you wish to continue? The man asked. Loki, who looked to have figured something out, transformed into his celestial form, and was about to attack once more. Lucy, you and the others get out of here, I'll handle him, don't worry. Erza and Juvia. They were in a tight spot fighting off multiple enemies at once as well. Erza was swatting them away left and right while Juvia just stood there taking their spell before attacking herself. Juvia was making great use of her water body ability to fight, not giving them time to figure a way to harm her. That is until some weird astral glowing sword came rushing at her, something she looked on with boredom, not paying this sword's much attention. However, she soon regretted it when the attack made contact and for once in her life actually harmed her while in her water body. Juvia! Was what Juvia heard before she hit the ground. Target acquired, beginning assault. Erza turned to meet a young girl with short pink hair looking at her with no readable emotion on her face for now. Erza, finishing off the last of the disposable dark mages, got in front of Juvia and took a defensive pose while making eye contact with the girl. New target Scarlet, Erza, the girl said before making dozens of astral glowing swords appear behind and around her. Erza, seeing the danger, did the same thing. Natsu's location. Natsu was having a difficult time with his current enemy in front of him. The psychotic blondie in front of him had not only taken out his own men for saying Fairy Tail was stronger but also was able to take him on fire for fire. What's the matter, Pinky can't take the heat, ha ha ha. The blondie laughed out manically while Natsu glared at him. The fight had taken them further into the island to where there were thick trees and to Natsu's surprise Makarov on the floor. Master, are you okay? Natsu screamed at him, never taking his eyes off of the lunatic known as Zankro. Natsu, run, I'll deal with him now, go. Makarov screamed while enlarging his left hand and taking Zankro by surprise and started to apply pressure to him. Natsu was surprised with what Makarov was doing but couldn't bring himself to abandon his master, not in the state he was in. No, I ain't leaving you behind, old man, we are all going back home together. Natsu proclaimed. Zankro, having had enough, decided to end it fast, so to their surprise he broke free of his binding and landing in front of the two. Nice little cheesy speech, kid, but I'm finishing this now that you two have bored me. Zankro told them, igniting his fist on fire with his flame god slayer magic. To everyone's surprise, Zankro stopped talking and got a face of extreme pain before falling face first into the ground. Makarov and Natsu watched with surprise and then relief when they saw Naruto standing there with his right hand extended. What they saw made them freeze in fear, for standing in front of was not the smiling, caring face of the blonde-haired person they knew. No, in front was a broken man who looked dead. His eyes and face held no emotion. The only thing they saw was tear marks long since dried. Grimoire Hearts will die today. With those words, Naruto disappeared, leaving two shocked people behind. What happened to him, master? Natsu asked, still shaking from fear of just looking at him. I don't know, Natsu, but whatever it was, Grimoire Hearts best be wary of the monster they just unleashed. Makarov said while falling unconscious once more. Camp. Lisa was taking care of her grieving sister who had cried for the past hour while curled up in a fetal position, saying how it was her fault she lost the child. Mira, it's not your fault this happened. It was mine. If I hadn't been so weak I wouldn't have been captured. I am sorry. Lisa cried near the end while looking down at the ground while sobbing and crying harder and harder, thinking about how she took her sister's firstborn child from her. It's not your fault, Alisana, no one could have predicted this. Mira finally said while gently getting up and warping Lisa in a hug. I'm just happy I didn't lose you again. Mira whispered out while both cried into each other while Mira thought about Naruto. Please, Naruto, come back safe and sound. I can't continue to live if you're gone, please. Those thoughts were her only solace in this time of grief she felt, thinking he was the only one to help her, not know he was the one who needed her help. Naruto stood watching as the last of the Grimoire Heart's troops fell around him lifeless. The ones around him watched in horror as a Fairy Tail mage emotionlessly slaughtered them all. I thought this mages didn't kill anyone. A frightened dark mage said while shaking in fear at looking at Naruto's bloodshot rage-filled eyes. You killed my unborn child and so you don't deserve mercy. Naruto said with no emotion. Before they were all frozen with Naruto in the center looking at the coastline seeing their ship. There you are, Naruto said, walking in that direction with nothing to lose. While on his way to the ship, Naruto was expelling a massive amount of magic, making everything in his path die from being exposed to massive amount of raw magic. On the ship, 2 people stood watching with mild interest at the magic approaching them. This magic is interesting, wonder what could be making it. An older man said while taking a sip from his drink. Whatever it is, it better be entertaining. Another said while leaning on the wall in the shadow. A fight worth waiting for will begin between 3 powerful mages of unknown limits. Who will win between these powerhouses? Will it be Naruto, or the 2 unknown mages? What if Kid Naruto in Fairy Tail Harem? And thanks for watching my video till the end. If you enjoy this content, then do consider subscribing to my channel, and leave a like if you guys need the next part. Comment down, and thanks for watching the video, and see you guys in the next video.